good afternoon, and welcome inside Regency Furniture Stadium as we prepare for the series finale between your Southern Maryland Blue Crabs and the visiting Long Island Ducks. They've split the series to this point, a game apiece heading into today's matchup, and Casey Delgado will take the mound. He returns from a lat strain in his shoulder. Delgado is ready to go, and he'll look to get a win for the Blue Crabs today and a win in the series. Brandon Belanda here alongside Andrew Bantra. Andrew, what have you seen in the first two games, and what do the Blue Crabs need to do to get the job done here today?
Well, I think you see some early scoring from the Blue Crabs in both games, one of which they weren't able to hold on to their lead. Obviously, in the other they were, so a split series coming in. Not only would it be huge for the rest of the season for the Blue Crabs to be able to secure this series win over the Long Island Ducks, but at the same time, if the Blue Crabs do want to do that, they have to get on the board early and have to be dominant with the strikeout. Brandon, this is a Ducks team that strikes out more than anybody in all of the Atlantic League. And Casey Delgado, a pitcher that averages 7 strikeouts per 9 innings. So try to go in with the strikeouts early and get some batters down on strikes.
Delgado has taken his final warm-ups. Jordani Valdespin will dig into the left-handed batter's box as righty on lefty matchup begins the day. Valdespin hitless in the series, but he still maintains a .355 batting average, easily tops in the league coming into play today. The infield throws the lefty shift on Valdespin. Frank Martinez, the third baseman's in on the grass. As Valdespin squares to bunt, pulls back, and a fastball misses high. We are underway. 2:09, the official time of first pitch today. A crisp 82 degrees and sunny. No signs of any weather concerns as Delgado readies for the 1-0. Valdespin squares to bunt again. No intention of doing so, pulls back, and that one's right there for a call and 1. The umpiring crew in tonight's game remains the same on the normal rotation. Mike Williams behind the plate, Silvio Martinez at first base, and at third base, Steve Zawiski. The 1-1 is shot through the right side of the infield, and Valdespin has his first hit of the series. A leadoff single gets things started here for the Ducks as the speedy second baseman is aboard.
You said it right there. You know the speed that Valdespin has. He's displayed it throughout his whole entire career, so you got to keep him close over there. And not to mention another very fast guy coming up to the plate.
We'll run through the rest of the Ducks lineup real quick, starting with the shortstop, Emilio Bonifacio, who digs in now. The right fielder, Travis Snyder, bats third. The cleanup hitter is left fielder Lou Ford. Taylor Ard will remain batting fifth. He'll serve as the designated hitter. David Washington, the first baseman, bats sixth. Cody Puckett, the third baseman, follows him. Center fielder Anthony Vega is eighth, and rounding out the lineup is the catcher, Audi Afner. Delgado misses low on the first pitch to Bonifacio here. 1 ball and no strikes. Defensive alignment behind Casey Delgado. Teodoro Martinez gets the start in left field. Corey Vaughn in center, Angelo Sonko in right. Around the infield, Frank Martinez at third, Edwin Garcia at short, Angelis Nina at second base, Devin Rodriguez at first, and Craig Maddox gets the start behind the plate. Fastball misses outside, 2 balls and no strikes for Delgado, who enters play today with a 4-6 record, a 4.47 ERA that you've seen climb in his last couple of starts.
Yeah, we look back to just a couple of weeks ago when he was sitting atop, top 10 in the Atlantic League in ERA, and you mentioned it's climbed.
Change up misses high here. 3 balls and no strikes. Delgado was top 10 in the league about 4 starts ago. He had a 3.44 ERA at the conclusion of his last win, which came on June 26th. 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run against the Road Warriors that day. As Bonifacio taking all the way. That one catches the outside corner, 3-1. Since then, Delgado has had his struggles. 5 1/3, 6 runs against Somerset. 6 innings, 3 earned. It was a quality start on July 8th against York, but a no decision. And then on July 15th against New Britain, 4 innings, 6 runs, 5 of them earned. And his ERA has climbed up to that 4.47 that we mentioned. 3-1, a big swing from Bonifacio and a fly ball to deep right center, but Sonko will get underneath it and make the play in the gap for out number 1. So good contact from Bonifacio, but Delgado works his way back from a 3-0 count and gets the job done. So he's going to look to drop that ERA after rising it a little over a full run per 9 in his last 3 starts. He has missed some time, about 2 starts, due to the shoulder strain we mentioned. So this is his first start since July 15th when he gave up those 6 runs at New Britain.
He has thrown against Long Island this season. He threw 5 innings. He allowed 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned. In that game, he walked 5 and struck out nobody. So got to get the strikeouts going, but if you're him, you feel comfortable facing off against Long Island.
Delgado has 54 strikeouts on the season, his second highest total. Or the second highest total, on the team, trailing just Paul Clemens, who we saw last night. Infield does have the shift on the left-handed bat of Travis Snyder. Delgado sets, now delivers a fastball on the outside corner for a called strike, and the count goes to 0-1. The walks have been an issue for Casey Delgado, even with the timed missed. He has 38 on the season. That's easily tops on the Blue Crabs, and that's one of the big reasons for his struggles in his last outing. He walked 4 in that game. You mentioned 5 walks when he faced Long Island. He's done a good job working around the walks, though.
He sure has, and that displays. I mean, you look at his high number of walks yet. You look back a couple of weeks ago, and he's top 10 in ERA. So if he can get those walks down, clearly the hits and runs aren't an issue outside of the walks. So if the walks go down, the ERA definitely goes down with it.
4th highest walk total in the Atlantic League, as Snyder with a high fly ball towards left field. Teodoro Martinez should have that one easily, and he does. Back-to-back flyouts. Have 2 down in the inning. Delgado very much so a fly ball pitcher. He stands 5'10", 185. Hails out of Miami, Florida. The 28-year-old features 5 pitches: fastball, sinker, curveball, changeup, and slider. The left fielder, Lou Ford, digs in now. The 41-year-old batting from the right side. He has a home run already in the series, a solo shot in Game 1. You can't overlook Ford because of the age. He's still got plenty of pop in that bat. We saw that in Game 1. We saw that in the Home Run Derby, and we've seen it as of late. Lou Ford's about as hot as they come. Delgado readies for the 1-0 pitch to Ford. A look at first. Now kicks and delivers. This one high and in. 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, you mentioned it. He's still got the power. 10 home runs on the season, but 4 of those coming in the last 6 games. 10 RBIs in the last 6 games. So the bat is very hot right now.
Delgado in a hitter's count with him too. 2 balls, no strikes as he comes set. Now kicks and delivers a fastball. Ford with a big cut, but a little bit behind, as that'll get foul out of play down the first baseline. 2 balls and 1 strike. There we go. Ford was hitless in last night's game, a ground out and 3 strikeouts. That comes after his only hit in Game 1 was the home run, so the Blue Crabs have found a way to cool him off a little bit. The home run didn't do much damage in Game 1 either. It was just a solo shot, so with the way Lou Ford was hitting coming into this series, you'll take that if you're Southern Maryland. 2-1 the count as Delgado comes set up at his shoulders. Now kicks and delivers. Ford with a towering pop-up. Maddox is giving chase. He will run out of room as that'll get up into the crowd a couple of rows deep behind the plate, and the count will even up. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Ford's had power his whole entire career. You look back at his time with the Minnesota Twins, where he played from 2003 to 2007. He did have a season where he hit .299 that season. Back in 2005, he received 2 MVP votes. He finished 24th in the MVP race, but we mentioned how rare and elite of a class it is to consider yourself a professional ball player, let alone in the MLB. And then you look at that upper echelon of guys that have received MVP votes. Very impressive.
The 0-2 upcoming, or 2-2, excuse me, as Delgado goes to the curveball here. That one spiked well in front of the plate. A good job by Maddox to slide over and block it down in front of him. Make sure that Valdespin can't move up into scoring position where a single could open the scoring. He will get a head start here, though, as with the 3-2 and 2 outs on the pitch from Delgado. The speedy second baseman will be off. Here comes that pitch from Delgado. There goes Valdespin, and the 3-2 misses low. Delgado issues his first walk of the game, and now first and second with 2 outs.
And realistically, for this Long Island lineup, statistically, their top 5 are their best 5 hitters. Once you get down to particularly that 7, 8, 9, they're not as good statistically. So if you can get through, that would be great. But the thing is, if you let guys on to have to face this top 5 with runners in scoring position, that's where the walks start to hurt.
Into the right-handed batter's box is Taylor Ard. He's 1 for 8 on the series, so he's been quiet to this point. Delgado will look to keep it that way. But Ard is 7 for 21 with a home run and 9 RBIs this season with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. The first pitch, a breaking ball. Ard sends a shallow fly ball into center. Vaughn coming on quickly. He's not going to get there. Around third is Valdespin. The throw is offline, and Valdespin will score. The errant throw will send Ford around to third and Ard up to second. Should be an RBI single. It is ruled an RBI single. Valdespin will score. The error will advance the runners to third and second. And the Ducks strike first in this one.
That's just a great piece of hitting from Taylor Ard. He gets a ball that necessarily he doesn't like. It's a sinker on the inner half. He doesn't try to do too much with it. Rather, he just puts his hands out there and dinks one into center field. Didn't try to clobber that ball, but he does the job and scores a run.
A guy digs in now that's got plenty of pop in his bat. First baseman David Washington into the left-handed batter's box. Check swing on the first pitch, but a called strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Washington 2 for 4 in each of the 2 games to this point. He had a solo home run last night. He leads the Ducks with 12 long balls on the season. He finished second in the home run derby to Davidson Romero. Big swing here, and this one's fouled off of his foot in the box. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Washington's home run last night snuck out of here, to say the least. It's 310 feet down the third baseline. That's the opposite way for the big 6'5" first baseman. And he pushed it maybe 311 feet. It hit off the top of the wall and went straight up and then snuck over for the the 2-run home run that cut the lead to 6-3. 0-2 upcoming, a breaking ball. Washington gets a piece of it and rolls it down the first baseline. Count will hold, no balls and 2 strikes.
You mentioned the power from Washington. It's clearly there, but he's also kind of an all-or-nothing type guy. He leads the league in strikeouts with over 100. The next highest is just north of 80 strikeouts on the year. But you mentioned the power, so if he gets a hold of it, it might go on a ride, but if he doesn't, he may be fanned.
Reminds you a bit of Adam Dunn with the 6'5" frame from the left side. Long, towering home runs, but a lot of strikeouts come with it. And we'll add another to that league-leading tally as Delgado blows a fastball by him, and that will retire the side here in the first, but the Ducks strike. They get 1 run in the inning on 2 hits, no errors, 2 men left on base. And we'll head to the bottom of the first. Teodoro Martinez leads things off when we return to the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Hey, this is Sam Runyon, and you're listening to the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Fans, join the Blue Crabs on Saturday night, August 18th, as we celebrate Southern Maryland's rich spiritual and religious community with Faith and Family Night. All night long, we will feature performances, prayer, and presentation from area religious and spiritual leaders, as well as post-game fireworks spectacular. Your minister, band, choir, or congregation can even participate. To be part of the festivities or to purchase tickets, please contact group sales at 301-638-9788 or visit somdbluecrabs.com.
Ladies, this is Corey Vaughn. Be sure to join us at the ballpark every Wednesday night for Wind Up Wednesday presented by Cove Point Winery. On select Wednesday nights throughout the year, ladies get in for just $5. You can also enjoy free wine samples from Cove Point as well as free services from Therapeutic Massage and Wellness. For more information and the available dates, please visit us online at somdbluecrabs.com or call us at 301-638-9788.
Hector Silvestre, the pitcher for Long Island, has taken his final warm-ups as we enter the bottom of the first. Teodoro Martinez leads things off. He took a fastball outside. 1-0 the count as he rips one foul down the third baseline to even things up at 1-1. Silvestre making just his second appearance on the season for Long Island. His first appearance came in relief, 1 1/3 innings, 2 earned runs, a 13.50 ERA. As Martinez, a hot shot back up the middle, it'll hit the second base bag and roll into center field. And the Blue Crabs start this inning the same way Long Island did, with a single. Silvestre's one outing came a week ago against Somerset, a 12-9 loss for the Long Island Ducks. He faced 8 batters, and 4 of them reached base, with 2 of those scoring. Edwin Garcia digs in now. Cody Puckett is in on the grass. Looks like Puckett's expecting small ball and a sacrifice bunt from Garcia. I imagine we won't see that. Has a fastball in the outside corner for a called strike. Runs the count to 0-1. Blue Crabs don't necessarily bunt all that often, especially early in games. 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, you start to see the small ball take a little more of effect, pending the score of the game. One-run game, either direction, they'll start to look for insurance runs, etc. As Garcia sends a fly ball into left center field. Vega tracking it down as he'll make the catch for out number 1. But early in games, first, second, third inning, Southern Maryland not the biggest fan of the sacrifice bunt to try to move runners over. That'll bring in Devin Rodriguez. Rodriguez 1 for 3, a home run, a pair of RBIs in last night's ball game. He narrowly missed a second home run, pushing it maybe a foot to the right of the foul pole down that right field line.
We've mentioned a couple of times the struggles that this Blue Crabs team has against left-handed pitching. 5-16 on the year against left-handed pitchers.
Silvestre kicks and delivers. This one misses high and away. 1 ball and no strikes. The southpaw, 6'3", 180 pounds, out of Waterbury, Connecticut. The 25-year-old was born in San Pedro, Dominican Republic. Rodriguez flares one over towards shortstop. Bonifacio is tracking it down, and he will make the catch for out number 2. And that'll bring up the ever-powerful John Griffin. Griffin with a home run in the series opener. He was 1 for 4 last night. He's made quite the splash here in Southern Maryland. 7 home runs has him second on the team, but that comes in significantly less time than Corey Vaughn has his 11. Griffin has played in just 28 games as opposed to Vaughn's 73. Silvestre gets ahead of him with a fastball in the inside corner here. No balls and 1 strike. Griffin's home run in the opener was one of the furthest we've seen this year. It went up over the concourse, over the pool, into the Crime Solvers sign out there, and left center as he swings over a changeup. No balls and 2 strikes. He's got some fans in attendance. I had the pleasure of meeting his mother earlier today. They flown all the way up from hometown of Bradenton, Florida to watch John at least today, potentially some of next series. As he swings through a fastball here, and Griffin is down on strikes. Silvestre gets the final three batters of the inning to work around the leadoff hit. No runs, one hit, no errors, one man left on base. We'll head to the second. Puckett, Vega, and Effner due up when we return to the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Hey, this is Brandon Compton, and you're listening to the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Pet lovers, kick off the Labor Day holiday right and join the Blue Crabs on Sunday night, September 2nd for our final Bark in the Park night of the season. The game has a special start time of 6:35, and the first fans through the gates receive Blue Crabs dog collars brought to you by 98.7 WMZQ. Call 301-638-9788 or visit somdbluecrabs.com for more information.
General Manager of your Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, and you're listening to the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Casey Delgado back to work here in the top of the second. His first pitch, a fastball for a cold strike to Cody Puckett. No balls and one strike the count on the Long Island third baseman as Delgado drops a curveball that's swung over the top of, and the count goes to no balls and two strikes. Puckett with the night off in game one. Dan Lyons started that game in his place, but now with Lyons one game away from tying the Long Island franchise record for most games played, he's been out of the lineup the past 2 days as Puckett fouls this one off. The Ducks do return home after this series for 6 straight. Lyons, I'm just assuming, will re-enter the lineup at that point and tie the Long Island record and then break it at home, which is an awfully special thing for him and a well-played move by manager Kevin Baez as down on strikes goes Puckett for out number one to save that for home in front of the home fans and give Lyons the ovation that he deserves for such a big accomplishment in his career.
Very impressive that he's done that. You look at a lot of long-tenured guys on this team for the Ducks, but to be able to do it at home, that's just something very special.
So Baez could have left his everyday shortstop in there for both of these two. He would have broken the record today officially, but elects to pull him out, and when they return home tomorrow, we'll tie it, and then their game on Wednesday. They have tomorrow off, and then we'll return to action Wednesday. Fastball misses high and inside. 2 balls and no strikes the count to the center fielder Anthony Vega. Vega making his first start of this series. Out of the windup for the 2-0. Delgado kicks and delivers. Fastball right there for a called strike, 2-1.
Vega, a former Blue Crab back in 2015. He also made the All-Star game last year in the Atlantic League when he led Long Island at the break with 11 home runs.
2-1, a roller towards second. That's handled by Nina. And he'll flip on to first. 2 up, 2 down. Vega has found himself somewhat left out of the lineup with the slew of just extraordinary talent frankly, that Long Island found this offseason. You bring in guys like Travis Snyder, who hit 300 in AAA last year and has 8 years of MLB experience under his belt. Emilio Bonifacio is basically, he was a bona fide everyday player at the major league level for a long time. And they sneak into your outfield with the powerful Lou Ford, and all of a sudden you got a guy like Vega that's able to come off your bench and provide a lot of power there. 1-0 pitch, a fastball is swung on and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. I was actually talking to somebody about this the other day, Andrew. MLB The Show just released a card, a throwback to 2008 Emilio Bonifacio card, where he's in the 80s as an overall ranked player. And I went home after the series opener and turned on MLB The Show to play while I waited to go to sleep that night. And so I watched Bonifacio play, and then I played with Emilio Bonifacio on the game, and I thought that was very interesting to see.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I didn't know about that, but, you know, he did, you mentioned it, he had some great days in the MLB. He was the 2011 July NL Player of the Month. He scored 27 runs that month. So a guy that really produced at that level.
The 2-2 pitch upcoming to Effner, and that one swung on and missed. Delgado with a beautifully worked 1-2-3 inning. 3 strikeouts on the day for him, 2 coming that inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Frank Martinez, Angelo Sonko, and Corey Vaughn are due up when we return to the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Are you looking for the latest and best in Blue Crabs gear? Look no further than the newly redesigned and restocked Crab Shack Team Store, anchored by EC Sports. The Team Store features everything from old favorites like game replica hats and t-shirts to novelty items and collectibles. You can visit our Team Store anytime 9 to 5, as well as during all home games. The Team Store is also available online by visiting somdbluecrabs.com and clicking the Store tab.
Hey fans, this is Craig Stem, pitcher for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Make sure you come out every Thursday for Foster's Grill Wings and Beer Night. For just $30, you can enjoy a ticket to the game and 2 hours of all-you-can-eat Foster's Wings and all-you-can-drink beer in the Legends Clubs from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. For more information, please visit our website at somdbluecrabs.com or call us at 301-638-9788.
Are you looking for the best place to entertain your group, large or small, this summer? Look no further than the Blue Crabs at Regency Furniture Stadium with our newly renovated luxury suites and Legends Club, as well as our brand new party suite. Our luxury suites have all new amenities and are sure to please your group, while our clean, upscale Legends Club can host up to 160 guests for a game or anytime. New for 2018, the Blue Crabs are excited to announce our brand new party suite for groups up to 50 guests. It's double the space for double the fun for double the group, just $20 per person. Call group sales at 301-638-9788 to book your group today.
Hey, this is Devin Rodriguez, and you're listening to the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Silvestre back to work here in the bottom of the second. He's maintained the 1-run lead through 1 inning of work. And now Frank Martinez leads things off and takes a fastball high and away, 1-0. A fastball in the outside corner will even things up, 1 ball and 1 strike to the third baseman here. The switch hitter batting from the right side is followed by Angelo Sonko and Corey Vaughn.
See an interesting motion from Silvestre. It almost looks like everything is a circle change, the way he kind of drapes his fingers down after the pitch.
Change up misses here. 3 balls and 1 strike. Not a hard thrower by any means. More of a pitch to contact and work the corners type of guy is Silvestre, no doubt. As this one's sent back up the middle, but they had him played perfectly there. As it's flipped on to first, the 4-3 putout.
And in addition to the maybe soft throwing, it just seems as though he kind of falls off towards the third base side, and even a fastball looks to come off index, ring, and pinky fingers.
So one down, and now Angelo Sonko digs in the lefty-lefty matchup. Silvestre definitely falling behind hitters to this point.
That's not a trend you want to get into earlier in a game.
2-0 the count.
Sonko, a guy whose bat's been heating up of late, 3 for 7 in this series with an RBI.
Fastball in the outside corner, 2 balls and 1 strike. One of the rare times the lefty-lefty matchup may tilt in the favor of a hitter, as this season Sonko against left-handers is hitting .294.
And we've talked about that before. It's just so strange to me. I mean, especially with a guy like Sonko, who isn't necessarily an open stance hitter, maybe even closed if anything. So once he comes set, that is. So you look at him, and it's got to be hard to pick that up. It's just perplexing how that works.
2-2 upcoming. Fastball misses high and inside. Very close, though. And the count goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes. To this point, Silvestre has thrown 8 balls and 12 strikes, 20 pitches, prior to the payoff that's upcoming to Sonko here. The 3-2. Here it comes. A fastball swung on and missed, and Sonko is down on strikes. Second strikeout of the day for Silvestre. The left-hander signed as an international free agent in 2011 with the Washington Nationals. Pitched for the Nationals from 2011 to 2017, reaching as high as their high A team, the Potomac Nationals. Last year with the Peanuts, he went 8-5 with a .424 in 18 games, all of them starts. 74 strikeouts in 93 1/3 innings. Fastball misses outside, 1 ball and no strikes. With the 6 seasons, of minor league baseball under his belt, the left-hander is 31-19 with a .328 ERA. As Vaughn hammers one to deep left center field, a no-doubt home run off the bat of Corey Vaughn, and he has tied things up here in the bottom of the second, his 12th home run of the season.
And no doubt is absolutely right. You could see the left and center fielders, Ford and Vega, just turn their backs and not even give a trot towards it. That's the type of value that a guy like Corey Vaughn brings. You don't have to string things together. Just one swing of the bat, and it's a tie ball game.
What's incredible about that, it's the first hit for Corey Vaughn in his last 19 at-bats, and it's a home run. He's watched his batting average drop all the way to the 200 mark. He was in danger of dropping below it today if he didn't come through with a hit, but he does here. As Craig Maddox sends a fly ball towards center, that's going to be handled by the center fielder Vega, and that will retire the side, but the Blue Crabs tie things up. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. We'll head to the third. Top of the order, due up to face Casey Delgado, and I'll hand things over to Andrew Banstra. He'll take you through innings 3, 4, 5, and 6 when we come back on the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Blue Crabs fans, come celebrate the bluest birthday of them all on Friday night, August 17th. It's Pinch's birthday party with appearances by all of Pinch's mascot friends. After the game, stick around for a post-game cupcake drop brought to you by Pump It Up of Waldorf. That's right, cupcakes raining out of the sky from the outfield with prizes for some lucky contestants. For more information, visit somdbluecrabs.com/promotion or call 301-638-9788.
Hey kids, this is Daryl Thompson from the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Don't forget, every Sunday is Kids Day at the ballpark, brought to you by Waldorf Orthodontics. Every Sunday home game, kids can enjoy a pregame autograph session with me and other players, $3 ice cream helmets all day long, and free admission to Pinch's Playground. Post-game, you can all come on the field and run the bases. For more information, please visit our website at somdbluecrabs.com or call us at 301-638-9788.
Pleased to welcome you back inside Regency Furniture Stadium as we head into the top of the third inning of baseball. The first batter to come up to face off against Casey Delgado in his third inning of work comes up in the form of Jordani Valdespin. Valdespin came into this game hitless in the 2 games we've seen in this series up to this point, as he'll show bunt, foul, 1 back for strike number 1, but he did lead off this game with a single, so he was able to get on base for the first time in the series as he sees an 0-1 count. This is not the first time that we've seen Valdespin attempt to bunt in this young series. He's done it a couple of times. Last night to lead off the ball game, he was thrown out narrowly for out number 1. Curveball from Delgado misses high and outside, and the count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Valdespin, a league-leading .355 batting average coming into this game that has risen with his leadoff single. 4 home runs, 35 RBIs to his credit. He'll swing through a looping breaking ball off the hands of Casey Delgado, and Delgado works himself ahead 1-2. Delgado had some struggles in the first inning in terms of command. He allowed 2 hits, 1 walk, and a run in that inning, but since he's gone right after every batter he's seen and been very dominant. Valdespin awaits in the left-handed batter's box. Here comes the pitch from Delgado. One just banked into center field. Vaughn gives chase, but backs up and allows it to drop in front of him, and that'll reach for the second base hit of the evening for Jordani Valdespin. He's 2 for 2 on the day and has 2 of the 3 Ducks hits on this day. So a leadoff single puts 1 on for make that Emilio Bonifacio. Bonifacio 0 for 1 on the day, but he comes into this game with a 20-game hitting streak, trying to extend that to 21, which would match Taylor Ard's 21 hitting streak that just broke yesterday. Ard 5th in this lineup, Bonifacio 2nd, as we see him coming up for the 2nd time in this ballgame. A check over to Valdespin at first. He's back safely, but we know the speed that Valdespin has. Him and Bonifacio have a tremendous amount of jet power on their legs. See if that comes into play here. A short lead by Valdespin at first, held on by Devin Rodriguez. Delgado comes in with a changeup that slips away from him, and he falls ahead. Falls behind in the count. 1 ball and no strikes. When you've seen Delgado miss, typically it's been high tonight. He's not following through with the backside on some of his pitches, which is leaving things high. Not that I'm in any position to critique his pitching ability. You just wonder if it has anything to do with this being his first start off the DL, as a short ground ball to the right side fielded by Nina. But the speed of Emilio Bonifacio is too much, which will give him a single. Back-to-back singles will put 2 on for the Ducks, and Emilio Bonifacio extends his hit streak to 21 games. It's absolutely phenomenal. You can't say enough about that. Obviously, the longest hit streak in the MLB history was 56, a long, long time ago. We'll give Brandon that for his trivia later in this ballgame as to who that was. If anybody knows who that was, feel free to comment on this Facebook or YouTube feed and let us know what you think. The next batter, Travis Snyder, comes up. He'll take outside, and the count goes to 1-0. So Delgado still coming after batters. That's not the issue, but he's allowing soft contact, which is nothing against him. That's what you want. But unfortunately, both of the first 2 batters have reached via that soft contact. Snyder, to this point in the day, 0 for 1. Here comes the next pitch that misses outside from Delgado. 2-0 the count. Snyder, a rare guy in terms of the way that his professional career started. He sped through the minor leagues, debuting in the MLB with the Toronto Blue Jays at just 20 years old. That rookie season, he home runned off of both Josh Beckett and Justin Verlander. As we'll get you more numbers on him after he fouls one off to the left side. 2-1 the count. But Travis Snyder had very highly touted numbers throughout his whole entire career. I mean, you look back at it, and the man was top 5 in all of baseball in terms of prospects. He has about 7 at-bats in the postseason, most of which coming with the Pittsburgh Pirates. He jumped around systems and was very highly touted. Still has a lot of talent. In 282 with 11 home runs and 57 RBIs as a breaking curveball will snap into the bottom half of the strike zone. 2-2 the count. We mentioned it earlier. Hit 300 in AAA this past season and ends up here with the Long Island Ducks, hitting just under that mark. As the right fielder will bend back and prepare for the righty Delgado's 2-2. This one driven into left field. Teodoro Martinez has to turn and watch it bounce off the left field wall. That scores at least one. And being halted at third is Emilio Bonifacio, but not before a RBI double off the mini monster in left field. Plates one. That's Jordany Valdespin's second run scored of the evening, scoring both of the Long Island Ducks runs in this ballgame, and that puts them up by a score of 2-1. The Ducks came into this inning with 2 hits through the first 2 innings. They lead off this third inning with back-to-back-to-back hits, 2 singles and a double, and that brings up the ever-present threat of Lou Ford. Ford, obviously, some power in his bat. He has 4 home runs and 10 RBIs in his last 6 games. No official at-bats at this point in the ballgame, just a walk to his ledger coming back in that first inning. Delgado finds himself in a jam as his first pitch misses just high of the strike zone. 1-0 the count. Travis Snyder stands at second. Emilio Bonifacio at third. Jordany Valdespin already scored in this inning. A shoulder shrug and a check over to third. Now Delgado, the delivery home. A ball belted over to the right side, but well out of play. It'll reach the bleachers, and the count runs to 1-1. Mentioned it earlier, Lou Ford, a guy that in his time with the Minnesota Twins received a couple of MVP votes back in that 2005 season, so clearly some talent here in his 9th season as a Duck, the longest tenured Duck on this roster. Ford swings over a Bugs Bunny changeup that gets right under his heavy swinging bat, and he'll fall behind in the count, 2-2. Ford played for the Twins from 2003 to 2007. He then played with the Ducks for a few seasons before being picked up by the Baltimore Orioles in 2012, and he played 36 games with them. He'll barely just chip a ball into the ground. It lands in the batter's box, and that'll keep the count at 2-2. Had he have not gotten a piece of that, that would be the 5th strikeout, make that the 4th strikeout on the day for Delgado. Instead, we see the 2-2 count stay. Coming in with that closed batting stance is Ford. He'll prepare with his hands on the bat for the 2-2 delivery. The leg kick and the fire home, a high fastball, will have Maddox chasing back to the netting. Instead, it just clears said netting and gets out of play. We'll see the count go to 2-2 once more. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming in from Delgado. Ford not only is the longest tenured player on the roster for the Ducks in his 9th season, he's also the hitting coach for the Ducks. This is his 5th season as the hitting coach. He's 41 years old, still has a .291 batting average with 10 home runs and 58 RBIs through 80 games. He'll get into the legs, trying to put a ride onto a ball. Instead, a curveball misses, makes that catches on the outside corner, and Delgado comes home with his 5th strikeout of the evening. Excuse me, the 4th strikeout of the evening for Delgado. We mentioned Delgado was dominant against the Ducks in his last time out against them. He threw 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned. The only issue was he walked 5 and struck out nobody, so 4 strikeouts in this ballgame for Delgado. We mentioned the command issues that he has. That's really the only knock against the righty, as that brings up Taylor Ard. Last time he was up, he had the first RBI of the game. That came back in the top of the first inning. First pitch to Ard, swung through, challenging him in and make that high and inside was Delgado, and Ard swings through it, 0-1 the count. We mentioned the strikeouts. Now, if you could get a strikeout in this situation, that would be absolutely critical to have the potential to strand two in scoring position. Ard awaits the 0-1 delivery from Delgado. Delgado, the leg kick, a broken bat, chopper up the middle. Nina has no play except to first. That is where he goes, where he's putting out the runner, Taylor Ard. Not before Ard can come in with his second RBI of the ballgame. And that puts the Ducks by a score of 3-1 up to the Blue Crabs. Not quite out of the jam yet is Casey Delgado. He still sees a runner 90 feet away from scoring the fourth Duck run of this ballgame. David Washington comes up to the plate. We mentioned he's a hit-or-miss guy, very literally. Most home runs by far in the Atlantic League, but he also has 12 home runs, which leads this Long Island Ducks team. First pitch he sees, catches upstairs, one and make that 0-1 the count. Washington struck out in his first at-bat of this ballgame. 0 for 1 on the day. A lot of strikeouts in this series, but he also does have a 4 for 8 average in this series with a home run to his credit as ball 2 misses downstairs. 1-1 the count. Washington, obviously some serious power in the left-handed batter's box. Number 30 will dig back in for the 1-1 delivery from Delgado. Check over to third. Now Delgado ready for the pitch. He comes home with it. It'll be on the inner half, but drilled over to the right side in between the first and second baseman and gets through for a 2-out single into right field. And that's an RBI single, scoring the fourth Duck run of this young ball game. Three runs so far in the inning for these Ducks. They've batted 6. Now the 7th batter in the lineup and the 7th batter of the inning. Cody Puckett comes up to bat. He struck out in his only at bat to this point. That came just last inning when he was the first out of that inning. First pitch to Puckett, a curveball misses upstairs. 1-0 the count. We mentioned that typically it's not the hits that come to plague Casey Delgado. More than often, it is the walks that come back to hurt him. That's not been the case today. In this particular inning, he's allowed 4 hits. That's been the downfall to him to this point, as he'll get the batter to swing right through a pitch, evening up Cody Puckett at 1-1. Puckett will dig back into the right-handed batter's box. He'll prepare for his second at-bat in as many innings. He sees a 1-1 count. Delgado rips back for the pitch. It's hit over to the left side and into the Blue Crabs dugout. He falls behind in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. This Puckett's 4th season with the Ducks. Last year, he played just 33 games after he ruptured his patella tendon. So he's back and healthy this season. His second start of the series, his second start in as many nights, as the third baseman Puckett digs in for the 1-2. Not before a check over to first by Delgado, making sure Washington isn't going anywhere. Delgado awaits the batter Puckett to get back and ready for the pitch. Inbound on this next pitch is the 60th of the evening off the arm of Delgado. We'll see what happens on said pitch. Washington goes on the pitch. A throw down to second. Not quite in time off the arm of Craig Maddox. And a stolen base by David Washington will put another runner in scoring position for these Ducks. Still with 2 down, but a 2-2 count to the batter Puckett. It's a whole lot of 2s on the scoreboard, folks. A runner at second. Number 2 up to bat. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. As Puckett will dig back in and await the 2-2 from Delgado. Check back to second. 1 more. Now Delgado comes home with the pitch. A curveball chopped over to the right side. Delgado will take it himself. Flip on to first. for out number 3. So that'll put an end to this top of the third inning, not before some damage is done by the Ducks. They plate 3 runs. That comes on 4 hits. They strand 1 and 1 error in the inning for the Blue Crabs. That puts the Ducks up by a score of 4-1, but the Blue Crabs look to crack back into that lead when they send up Angelis Nina, Teodoro Martinez, and Edwin Garcia when we return on the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Hey, this is Cash Beecham, and you're listening to the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Are you looking for the latest and best in Blue Crabs gear? Look no further than the newly redesigned and restocked Crab Shack Team Store, anchored by EC Sports. The Team Store features everything from old favorites like game replica hats and t-shirts to novelty items and collectibles. You can visit our Team Store anytime 9 to 5, as well as during all home games. The Team Store is also available online by visiting somdbluecrabs.com and clicking the Store tab.
Hey fans, this is Sam Runyon, right-handed pitcher for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Make sure you come out every Thursday for Foster's Grill Wings and Beer Night. For just $30, you can enjoy a ticket to the game and 2 hours of all-you-can-eat Foster's Wings and all-you-can-drink beer in the Legends Club from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. For more information, please visit our website at somdbluecrabs.com or call us at 301-638-9788.
Welcome back inside the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network as Angelis Nina, the first Blue Crab to come up in this bottom of the third inning. Nina, this is his first at-bat of the ballgame. He'll await the Silvestre pitch that catches on the outside corner. Nina, no intention to swing on that pitch, just trying to get a feel for Silvestre, and the first time the two have faced each other in the Atlantic League. This ball lofted over to the right side. Nina not even running down the line as he recognizes that it will get foul, and it does. That evens up the count. Makes the count 0-2 to Nina. Baseball is a game of hindsight, folks. Keep that in mind. But obviously, Nina maybe looking back at that first pitch that was kind of on the inner half of the plate, maybe thinking about, well, I kind of wanted that one, but too late to look back at it now. 1-2 the count. Nina hitting .324 with 7 RBIs and a home run in his last 10 games. He'll hit this one over to the left side. A chopper fielded by Puckett. Swings it across the infield, and a good dig in the dirt by Washington at first base puts away Nina for the first Blue Crabs out of the inning. So one down, and that flips the lineup back to the top. First batter in the lineup. Second time coming up in the game for Teodoro Martinez. 2 hits for the day on the Blue Crabs line score, one of them coming from Teodoro Martinez. That led off this ball game offensively for the Blue Crabs. Teo takes downstairs, and that makes the count 1-0. Teo hitting just .167 coming into this game against the Long Island Ducks, but at the same time, he's hitting .368 at home this season. Very hot at home, hitting .291 on the season, as the equalizer will come in. 1-1 the count. Teo awaits the 1-1 pitch from Silvestre. A changeup misses on the outer half, and he goes into the hole in terms of the account. And 2-1 the count to Teo. Teo 0 for 2 with a run scored in yesterday's game. This time he belts one into right field. Unfortunately, it hangs up a little bit too much towards the right fielder, Travis Snyder, and a line drive snagged out of thin air by Snyder puts away the second blue crab of this inning. 2 down, none on brings up Edwin Garcia, the shortstop who bats second in the Blue Crabs order. He's 0 for 1 on the day to this point. He was 2 for 4 with an RBI, and make that 2 of them in yesterday's affairs. As he'll await the first pitch from Silvestre that misses upstairs, 1-0 the count. We've seen interesting shifts against Garcia this year. None today, but there was about a 20-game span where every time Garcia came up, it was a shift over to the right side as he puts one through the right side. The first hit of the Blue Crabs' third inning comes with 2 down and off the bat of Garcia. But as I was saying, there was a point in the season where just about every team would shift him as you would a pull left-handed hitter. So all the infield and the outfield shifting over to the right field side. That kind of subsided when Garcia started spraying to all fields. And now he's doing it again. Hits it over to the right side for a single. And that brings up Devin Rodriguez. Rodriguez 0 for 1 in the day. He flew out to the shortstop to record the second out of the first inning. Changeup misses in the dirt off the hands of Silvestre. 1-0 the count. Rodriguez was 1 for 3 in yesterday's game. He had 2 RBIs. He had a home run and a sac fly. He narrowly missed having 2 home runs. As a ball, as we talked about earlier, missed just to the right of the right field foul pole. 2-0 the count as Rodriguez works himself into a hitter's count. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see Rodriguez think about laying one down the third base line. Third baseman Puckett not even close to that line. No bunt, but it does go over to the left side. This has a chance at dropping. It does drop, but just foul as a good piece of hitting from Rodriguez. If I had to guess, he was doing that on purpose, trying to float one over the third baseman Puckett's head into that no man's land that you see in left field, should everybody return to the positions they were standing in previously. He does that, but just gets fouled, and that makes the count 2-1. So he had some opportunities to work with a 2-0 count. Now he settles back in. But as you can see, there's a big gap over in left field down the line. Lou Ford playing to your right of where he typically would. Rodriguez hits one over to the left side. That has a chance at dropping, and it does. Comes in front of Lou Ford, and the second 2-out hit from the Blue Crabs puts 2 on. Back-to-back singles, one from Edwin Garcia, the other from Rodriguez, brings up easily probably the most potent bat in this lineup, John Griffin. Griffin is a home run threat every time he comes within a mile of the batter's box. The man has some serious power to tap into in the lumber he holds. He displayed that in the series opener a couple of days ago when he sent a moonshot to left. He'll come on here with 2 down and 2 on. A swinging bunt over to the right side will get in front of Washington. He'll bobble the ball, and he's unable to corral it before the play is able to come up with. They're going to call that an error on the first baseman, Washington, and that'll load the bases for the Blue Crabs, bringing up statistically the best hitter in this Blue Crabs lineup, Frank Martinez. Martinez, a switch hitter. He'll come up against the left-handed pitching Silvestre should he stay in the game after this mound visit from manager Kevin Baez. Martinez preparing to swing from the right side. On the season for Martinez, he's actually a better hitter from the right side. 350 batter from the right side of the plate. A combined 305 average, good for 10th in the Atlantic League. So the base is juiced for Frank Martinez. All with 2 down has this occurred. Nina and Teodoro Martinez went down to lead off this inning. Then back-to-back singles from Garcia and Rodriguez, who stand in scoring position. And an error at first base brings up Frank Martinez as a changeup misses on the outer half. 1-0 the count to the third baseman. Martinez in his 14th professional season. First with the Blue Crabs as the Silvestre pitch comes upstairs. Martinez tried to meet that challenge halfway in the middle that Silvestre threw him. Instead, Silvestre wins the battle and evens up the count at 1-1. Martinez awaiting the 1-1 delivery. This time missing outside with that coveted changeup that he's continually sat back on time and time again. He's not afraid of throwing that many, many times. He's shown that all day today. 2-1 the count to Martinez. Silvestre a pause, a chopper over to the left side, should be an easy out, number 3. Second baseman gets the ball from the shortstop Bonifacio. The easy out recorded, and that puts away the Blue Crabs with the bases loaded and no runs to show for it. In the inning for the Blue Crabs, no runs, 2 hits, 3 left on base, and no errors puts us through 3 innings of baseball played. A 4-1 score in favor of the visiting Ducks will bring out Casey Delgado for his 4th inning of work when we return on the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Blue Crabs fans, come on out Wednesday morning, August 1st for the Blue Crabs annual Camp Day. The fun under the sun starts at 11 a.m., so fans from all walks of life who can't usually catch the boys of summer play under the stars are invited to join. A special group rate for 20 or more of just $8 for a ticket or $13 for a ticket and a meal make it a great outing. Call group sales at 301-638-9788 or visit somdbluecrabs.com for more info.
Shopping for groceries in a clean, friendly store? That's smart. Shopping for groceries in a clean, friendly store and saving some money while you're doing it? That's wise. At Wise Markets, you'll find all your favorite brands, prices you'll appreciate. That means more meat for less money, more dinner for less dinero, and more milk for less moolah. Stop by a Wise Market today.
Eat better, spend less, that's wise.
Hey, this is Drake Britton, and you're listening to the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Welcome back inside Regency Furniture Stadium. We head into the top of the 4th inning of baseball. A third of the game over with. We head into the 2nd third, and Anthony Vega, the first batter that we'll see in this third. First pitch he sees, high and outside off the hands of Casey Delgado. 1-0 the count to the center fielder Vega. Vega 0 for 1 in the game. He chopped one over to the right side and was retired via the second base to first base putout. 2-seam misses on the inner half, and Delgado falls behind 2-0 in the count. Vega, a former Southern Maryland Blue Crab. Batting .187, a home run, and 3 RBIs on the season. He sees the Delgado pitch come up and at the chin. Delgado falls behind, 3 balls and no strikes in the count. We have mentioned that when Delgado struggles, it's typically because of the walks. He hasn't had too many to this point in the day, but at risk of letting one on via the walk. It won't happen quite yet as he catches on the outside corner. 3-1 the count to Vega. Vega was an all-star game attendee this past season. Make that in 2016 for the Ducks as he'll foul one off to the left side. And working the count full is Delgado. When he made that all-star game at the break that season, he had 11 home runs for the Ducks. That brought him into the all-star game in the Atlantic League, his only all-star nomination to this point in his career. 3-2 pitch lofted into shallow left field. Garcia taking control of it, and he'll come under it. Breadbasket catch at the shoulder puts away the first batter, Vega, for the first out of this Long Island Ducks top of the 4th. 1 down and none on bring up Audi Afner. Afner in his first game in this 3-game set between the two teams. Here we are at the back end of this series, the series finale. Each team having won one up to this point, so all the stakes in play between these two teams. Here comes the first pitch to Afner. He drills it over to the right side, giving chases Sanko in position perfectly to put out Afner with no effort is Sanko. It looked like a risky hit if you're the Blue Crabs, but instead, clearly Sanko had done his homework, positioned just perfectly, and puts away Afner for the second out of this Ducks inning. So you talk about the ability to rebound if you are Casey Delgado. Delgado came in having allowed 3 runs in the top of the third and then started off this inning with a 3-0 count. Since, he's thrown all strikes and gotten at 2 outs in just 5 pitches. Showing bunt, Jordani Valdespin for the 4th time in his many at-bats. He takes, didn't have really any intention at actually swinging at that pitch. He just wanted to get a better feel for it. Nonetheless, 0-1 the count to Valdespin. He's 2 for 2 on the game with 2 runs scored. Delgado comes home, showing bunt against Valdespin. This time his sinker misses downstairs, equalizing the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Back in his time with the Mets, Jordani Valdespin broke their single-season record for pinch-hit home runs back in 2012 when he had 5 pinch-hit home runs on that season. He'll belt one into center field that hangs up a little high. Corey Vaughn gets it right into the back of his glove, and the 4th inning for the Ducks goes down 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no runners left on base for the Ducks. Puts us through 3.5 innings of baseball played. When we return, it's Angelo Sanko, Corey Vaughn, and Craig Maddox. We'll have it right here for you on the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Hey, this is Austin Green, and you're listening to the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Blue Crabs fans, come celebrate the bluest birthday of them all on Friday night, August 17th. It's Pinch's birthday party with appearances by all of Pinch's mascot friends. After the game, stick around for a post-game cupcake drop brought to you by Pump It Up of Waldorf. That's right, cupcakes raining out of the sky from the outfield with prizes for some lucky contestants. For more information, visit somdbluecrabs.com/promotion or call 301-638-9788.
Hey kids, this is Drake Britton, pitcher for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. If you're under 12 years old, make sure to check out our Chick-fil-A Backfin Buddies program. For just $15, kids will receive free admission to every Friday home game this season, as well as a Backfin Buddies t-shirt and Pinch pencil pouch. During the games, all members wearing their t-shirt get to go on the field for the High Five Tunnel, as well as free admission to the kids' park and a free ice cream helmet. For more information, please visit our website at somdbluecrabs.com or call us at 301-638-9788.
Angelo Sanko, the first Blue Crab to come up in this bottom of the 4th inning. Sanko's bat has been on fire of late. First pitch he sees from Silvestre, drilled over to the right side. David Washington gobbles on a couple of bounces and flips it onto the covering pitcher for out number 1. Sanko retired on 1 pitch, puts away the first Blue Crab out. Next batter to come up is Corey Vaughn. Vaughn's story is told without any words said, as he hit a no-doubt atmosphere blaster to the left side of the field, clearing the left field fence with ease in his first time up in this ballgame. That was his only at-bat to this point, as the home run scored the only Blue Crabs run of this game. Vaughn awaits the first pitch from Silvestre. He'll take on the outside corner, and that makes the count 0-1. That home run broke a 16 at-bat hitting slump for Corey Vaughn as he swings toughly threw an outside changeup and falls behind in the count 0-2. He was 2 for 26 in his last 10 games coming into this game. Was able to break that slump in his first at-bat of the ballgame. And the 0-2 misses on the outside corner, 1-2 the count. When Vaughn does get on a tear, he hits everything that he hits, whether he's out or he's safe, very hard. I'd guess upwards of 110 miles per hour exit velocity. This one tapped to the back screen. 1-2 remains the count. He's kind of been tapping into that streak where he really gets a hold of every ball he hits. He's been doing it of late. Finally broke through with his coveted home run, his 12th of the year. Fourth pitch of the at-bat misses on the outside corner to this dismay of Hector Silvestre, the arm on the bump for the Ducks. Vaughn loosens up the hands and prepares for the 2-2. Silvestre's delivery misses on the outer half, and Vaughn has worked the first full count that Silvestre has delivered on this ball game. Silvestre's second appearance in a Duck uniform on the season, first start for the Ducks, and he gets Vaughn to swing through strike number 3. So after working an 0-2 count full, Vaughn goes down on strikes for the second Blue Crabs out of the inning. Silvestre's one relief appearance before this game. He had 1 1/3 innings pitched. He allowed 2 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. He walked a pair and struck 1 out. Came in with a 13.50 ERA, which has definitely plummeted downwards since the start of this ballgame as a bloop shot to the left side gets over the outstretched glove of the shortstop Emilio Bonifacio for the first Blue Crabs hit of this inning. That comes off the left-handed bat of Craig Maddox. Maddox reaches via the single and flips the lineup to the very bottom. Angelis Nita comes up to the plate. Last inning, we saw a similar display of offense for the Blue Crabs. They got 2 straight outs before 3 straight reached base. 2 singles and an error loaded the bases before a fielder's choice retired a scoreless third for the Blue Crabs. As Nina takes on the outer half, 1-0 the count. So here with 2 down, you get a single from Maddox, and that brings up Nina, whose bat has been very hot. He'll send one into left center field. That has a chance at extra bases, and it will. It drops, having trouble with it in center's Vega. Cash Beecham, the third base coach, sends Maddox home. A good throw on the cut and a very close play at home. Pegged out on the throw. Craig Maddox is cut down trying to score on a double in a left center gap from Angelis Nina. Going first to third was the catcher, and he's thrown down trying to cut this Blue Crabs deficit in half. Instead, he'll be retired for the 3rd out of the inning for the Blue Crabs, and that is going to have a scoreless bottom of the 4th frame on the board. In the inning for the Blue Crabs, they strand 1. They have 1 hit, no runs, and no errors on the flip side of the ball. A 4-1 score in favor of the Ducks puts us through 4 complete innings of baseball played. When we return, it's Casey Delgado back on the bump for his 5th inning of work. We'll have it right here on the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Hey, this is Ryan Strasburger, and you're listening to the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Blue Crabs fans, what's more American than baseball and a barbecue cookout? Quite frankly, the two go together like stars and stripes, rockets and red glare, and liberty and the pursuit of happiness. So when you come to Regency Furniture Stadium's all-you-can-eat picnic pavilion, you get both at a great price. The best part is that groups from 20 to 400 plus can enjoy the picnic pavilion, and when you include this home run of a deal with the kids park, paddle boats, and on-field fun, you have a grand slam of an opportunity. Call today at 301-638-9788 to speak with a sales executive or visit somdbluecrabs.com for more information.
This is Rick Meehan, Mayor of Ocean City, Maryland. For everyone who's put off planning a vacation this summer, I've got good news for you. Ocean City, Maryland is a procrastinator's paradise. We've got 10 miles of free beach, an amazing 3-mile boardwalk, golf, fishing, shopping, dining, and free events 7 nights a week, including fireworks, boardwalk light shows, dance parties, and movies right on the beach. It's not too late. Book a visit today at OCOcean.com. That's OCOcean.com.
Hey, this is Edwin Garcia, and we are listening to the Blue Crab Broadcast Network.
Welcome back inside the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network. We head into the top of the 5th inning of baseball. The first batter to comes up in the form of Emilio Bonifacio. Bonifacio 0 for 2 on the day. He extended his 20-game hit streak into a 21-game hit streak back in the 3rd inning when he came up with a 2-out single. He'll take on the outer half, 1-0 the count. Casey Delgado, the pitcher on the bump for the Blue Crabs. He's out for his 5th inning of work as the starter continues to try to work his way into this game. The biggest blip on his bump came back in the 3rd inning as a ball is sent deep but well foul. That ball easily at home run distance if it would have stayed in between the foul poles. Instead, it extends beyond their width. And that makes the count 1-1 to the batter Bonifacio. He'll dig back into his left-handed batter's box. Glove over the face. Now the kick and the delivery from Delgado. A breaking ball that works its way upstairs and fouled back over to the left side. 1-2 the count from Delgado. Delgado perches himself back up on the hill, and he'll prepare for the 1-2 delivery. Bonifacio, a .342 batter on the season. That's good for 3rd best in the Atlantic. A chopper over to the right side, escapes fair play, and he'll sit at 1-2 at least once more. This is Delgado's first start after a couple of weeks off due to a shoulder injury. He works his way back against this potent Ducks offense, and he's been pretty impressive to this point. The Ducks, the 2nd best batting average in the Atlantic League. Pitch from Delgado comes in, and it's drilled to the right side. Sanko gives chase, coming down the right field line, and puts it in the back of his glove, right at the breadbasket hip-level catch for out number 1. A line scorcher off the bat of Bonifacio, but for the 2nd time in his mini innings, due to the well-placed positioning of the right fielder Sanko, both were put down. That brings up the 3rd hitter in this Ducks lineup, Travis Snyder, who comes into the ballgame 1 for 2 with an RBI double. First pitch from Delgado inbound. This pitch drilled to the right side, but picked right out of the dirt from Casey. Make that Devin Rodriguez. And another scorched shot to the right side is picked out of thin air by a Blue Crab. And that puts 2 down very quickly for the Ducks. That will bring up the cleanup batter, Lou Ford. Ford on the day, 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. Strikeout looking came back in the 3rd inning. As you'd have to imagine, being the hitting coach that he is, not to mention a very good hitter, you'd have to think he'll take the first pitch from Delgado to try to extend this inning. Be very good for Delgado if he could get out of this inning quickly, but Ford will take. It was a ball on the inner half that makes the count 1-0. This 3 through 6 of the Ducks lineup is very potent. Between those 4 batters, that would be Travis Snyder, Lou Ford, Taylor Ard, and David Washington, they have 44 combined home runs through just 80 games. So the 4 of them all in double digits in terms of home runs. Awaiting the 1-0 delivery will be Ford. He'll take a curveball on the inner half that equalizes the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. In Ford's 6 MLB seasons, he was a .268 career hitter, and he'll chop one foul straight back into the netting and work his way into the hole in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. after that third inning, Delgado has really rebounded. He allowed 3 runs in that third inning. Ever since, he's retired 6 straight, looking to make it 7 with a 1-2 count to Ford. Ford takes a bouncing curveball that evens up the count at 2-2. It's a whole lot of 2s on the board, folks. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs to number 20, Lou Ford. With a .291 batting average, 10 home runs, and a whopping 58 RBIs from the 41-year-old. Delgado's 2-2s hit right back up towards the press box. It evades us up here, and that will make the count stay at 2 balls and 2 strikes. A pair of lineouts were the first 2 victims in this inning. Lou Ford, the cleanup hitter, looking to extend the inning. Casey Delgado with different plans in his mind. We'll see what he comes with on the 2-2. The delivery in the outer half that will make the batter Ford swing right through it. His second strikeout of the day will put the inning away for the Long Island Ducks. In the inning for the Ducks, they have no runs, no hits, no errors, and no runners left on base. That makes the score stay at 4-1 in favor. When we return on the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network, they'll look to extend their deficit into a lead. That means Teodoro Martinez, Edwin Garcia, and Devin Rodriguez when we return on the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Hey, this is Shane Watson, and you're listening to Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Blue Crabs fans, Vicelli Pizza, known to have the best pizza in town, is offering you 20% off your order. That's right, 20% off. Just use code 779 to take advantage of this limited time offer. Vicelli offers pizzas, pastas, subs, wings, salads, and more. You can place your order for pickup or delivery online at Vicelli Pizza, VOCELLI.com, or call 301-705-5858, as well as visiting Vicelli Pizza at their Waldorf location, 11850 Park Waldorf Lane. Vicelli Pizza, delivering classic Italian quality.
Shopping for groceries in a clean, friendly store? That's smart. Shopping for groceries in a clean, friendly store and saving some money while you're doing it? That's wise. At Wise Markets, you'll find all your favorite brands, prices you'll appreciate. That means more meat for less money, more dinner for less dinero, and more milk for less moolah. Stop by a Wise Market today.
Eat better, spend less. That's wise.
Hey, this is Craig Stem, and you're listening to the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
We're back inside Regency Furniture Stadium. A 4-1 deficit for the Blue Crabs. A new pitcher on for Long Island as left-hander Asher Tolliver will take over in the bottom of the 5th to face the top of the Southern Maryland order. Teodoro Martinez leads it off, and I am joined by a very special guest, the sponsor of the day and one of the owners of Pump It Up of Waldorf, Mr. Tillman Smith. Thank you so much for joining me here on the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network today.
Oh, thank you for having me, Brendan.
So Pump It Up is the sponsor of today. Today is Minion Day. You guys are a sponsor of 2 more exciting events we have coming up. You hear the commercials when you listen every day. You've got the Superhero Cape giveaway coming up, Superhero Day at the ballpark, and you're also the sponsor of Pinch's birthday with that exciting cupcake drop that's coming up in a couple of weeks. We've been playing the commercials all year, hyping that stuff up. We're excited to have you guys on board. And I just have some questions for you about Pump It Up. I want you to talk about what you guys do, how you got involved with the Blue Crabs. So what is Pump It Up? I know a lot of people have that question because it's a very unique party experience at Pump It Up. So what is it, and where are you guys located?
Okay, so Pump It Up is an indoor inflatable party place for children and families filled with huge interactive inflatables. Those moon bounces that sometimes people rent and have them outside in their yard. Well, we have 8 of them in an indoor facility where they can come in and play for fun for all ages. We're located at 10 minutes away off of Post Office Road.
So very close to the ballpark, very exciting stuff. I've had the opportunity to go. I went with Pinch. We had some fun messing around. I was on the basketball inflatable, dunking and having a grand time with that. So what makes Pump It Up different from some of its competitors? As we'll take a second, Teodoro Martinez sprays a single through the right side. Blue Crabs trail by 3, but a lead-off hit here as they'll try to fight back. So obviously there's a lot of opportunities for birthday parties and kid events and stuff like that. What makes Pump It Up different from other party places, especially here in local Waldorf?
Well, Pump It Up is unique because we are the only place in town that offers 100% private parties from beginning to end. When you have a party at Pump It Up, it will just be you, your family, and your friends during the entire party, while your party's in the play areas and also the party rooms. And we take care of all your needs, including the setup, cleanup, and food if you want.
So it's completely private then is what you're saying. There's no, you rent out the entire facility. You don't just rent out one inflatable or the party room, but you rent out Pump It Up of Waldorf.
Exactly. So instead of having a whole bunch of people that you don't know out in the party arenas and jumping around, it's just you and your family and friends.
That's incredible. That's very exciting to have as a kid when it's just you and your buddies. You don't have to worry about running into anybody else or anything like that. But it's not just birthday parties. What else do you guys do? I know you have open jumps that I've had the opportunity to be a part of, but what all do you guys offer over at Pump It Up?
Right, so our open jumps are scheduled throughout the week. Please check our calendar for those events because we do schedule them around private events. We also have a summer camp, and so with August coming up, we have 3 weeks of summer camp coming up. It's called Jumpin' Art, where kids can play with art activities during the week, and also they'll jump. So it's kind of a combination of art activities and jumping. We do Parents' Night Out. We usually do that once a month. And it gives parents time to drop their kids off and go enjoy dinner or a movie or something like that.
So it kind of, to clarify that, it's not for parents to come jump. It's for parents. It sets up not only like a typical daycare where you have a babysitter for a few, but they can leave them at Pump It Up and they can enjoy themselves doing the inflatables and the moon bounces and stuff like that while the parents go out.
Exactly. They'll drop their kids off for about 4 hours.
Oh, wow.
And
that's
then
incredible.
they'll be able to, that's enough time for, dinner and a movie or just, hanging out. And they'll come back and we'll watch the kids for that time.
Okay, and then do you guys do field trips and stuff like that throughout the year as well?
Yep. We also have field trips and we do fundraisers as well.
So then how can someone book with you guys? What is the best contact info for Pump It Up? Who do they talk to? How do they go about that?
The best way is to go to our website, which is pumpitupparty.com. That's pumpitupparty.com. And then you can just search for the Waldorf location. And then it has our contact information. You can reserve parties there. And it also has our phone number.
So then I know you guys are specifically Waldorf with this partnership, but you and your wife Denise have a couple of locations, correct? So
yes.
We have listeners up north a little bit as well that tune in for our day games, such as today, from all over. So what other locations are there outside of just that really local Waldorf one?
So my wife and I, we also have the Lanham, Maryland location and also the Elkridge, Maryland location. There's also a Pump It Up in Silver Spring, Maryland, and also Frederick, Maryland.
Okay. And then what is the best way? I heard you mention it, the calendar. You can check the upcoming events calendar to see when you have open jumps and events and the Jumpin' Art Summer Camp that's coming up. What's the best way to stay up to date with that stuff for you guys?
So if you're on our mailing list, we send out emails weekly that kind of says what the upcoming events are. So you can just go on to pumpitupparty.com and you can join our mailing list. And through that, you can receive our newsletter, which will just keep you up to date with everything that we're doing. And
are there any restrictions for jumping at Pump It Up? What are the outlines, I guess, of how big, how tall, what? I know the main rule, that's what I found out when I went. The main rule, you got to have socks.
Got to have socks, exactly. So bare feet, they kind of, or shoes, they kind of mess up the vinyl of the inflatables. So we make sure that everyone has socks. I would say you have to be, there's a certain height, like 32 inches, because some of the inflatables are hard to navigate for children who are younger than that. But if they are younger than that, we allow the adults to kind of walk them through the inflatables.
So there's no too old or too big, but there's too young. Or not too young, too small.
Too small.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, we even had my wife's grandmother. She was, was going down one of the inflatables one time. So no too
like
old.
I said, I had the opportunity when they were filming the commercial. I was in there playing on the basketball one, having a good time. So this is your first year partnering with the Blue Crabs.
Yes.
I know we had the opportunity to get out there and meet with you guys. What was the process for you in deciding what you wanted to do here in local Southern Maryland and how you wanted to partner with us moving forward. What were some of the things that attracted you to the Blue Crabs and made this something that you wanted to be a part of, especially these 3 days in particular?
Well, although this location has been around for over 8 years, my wife and I just acquired it a year and a half ago. And one of the things we wanted to do was do more outreach, community outreach. And we felt that the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs was an excellent way to reach, part of the community and the people that, that facility has not reached before. The previous owners before us, they pretty much limited all of their partnerships and advertising to just their email blasts. So we just feel that, the hands-on approach and partnering with the local community, partnering with Southern Maryland Blue Crabs is the best way for us to get our name out there.
As a flared single is going to get down in center field off the bat of John Griffin. With one out, the bases are loaded. The Blue Crabs putting a little rally together
All right,
here.
it's great.
Go ahead run coming to the plate in the bottom of the fifth. So you guys reach out. We get the partnership going. These 3 days, you've got Minion Day, you've got the Pinch's birthday, and you've got the Superhero Cape Day. Your names are on those. You're on the video board. You're on everything. Getting your name, your brand out there. The on-air interviews like this. What about these 3 days in particular drew your interest?
Well, they target kids, and that's our target market as well. So, young kids, I would say the peak ages are 4 to 6, 4 to 7, although, kids younger, we definitely encourage them as well because, they'll become customers in a year or two. So, those 3 days were days that we saw in the calendar that featured kids, and we wanted to be a part of that.
Every Sunday is Kids Day here as well. You've got your stuff set up down there by the Kids Park.
That's right.
Free entrance to that every Sunday. Everything. We've got the Minion here today down there taking pictures with you guys. We've got the Superhero Cape giveaway coming up. That cupcake drop coming up on the other day. You guys
that should
have.
be fun.
I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
That was it was a funny meeting. I actually came up with that by complete accident. We have in the past done a candy drop. We bring the helicopter in, it drops candy on the field, and the kids go out there. And we were talking about doing that candy drop for Pinch's birthday, and kind of jokingly, I said, well, it's a birthday. Shouldn't it be cake? And all of a sudden, Courtney lit up, and she was like, cake it is. Let's do it. And we've pieced it all together now, and this was back in January, and now here we are setting it up a couple of weeks away, getting ready to drop cupcakes from a helicopter in the sky.
Wow. That should be fantastic.
It's definitely going to be really exciting. So are you and your wife baseball fans or sports fans in general? Is that one of the draws to the Blue Crabs?
Yes, we are. We haven't followed the Blue Crabs as much. We live up in Howard County in Maryland. So, for us, more the MLB.
So you follow
teams.
the Nationals and
Yeah,
Orioles
the
a
Nationals
little
and
more?
Orioles. Right.
Are those your teams?
Sort of. I grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, so I would say those are my second and third teams.
Behind the Pirates?
Behind the Pirates, exactly.
As Martinez fouls one off here to stay alive 0-2. So, this is your first experience, I believe, seeing a Blue Crabs game, correct?
Yes.
Very solid baseball.
Yes.
Some names that some people recognize. You've got Francisco Rodriguez down in the bullpen for Long Island, 4th all-time in saves. I know the Nationals and Orioles get the main draws, but I seem to like this a little better, the minor league atmosphere. It's more family-oriented. We can do stuff like bring minions out and have on-air interviews and everything like that. It's kind of more close-knit, I guess.
Yeah, it's true. And I see the play area out there, too, the little playground where all the kids can go out and play. You generally don't see that in Major League Baseball parks.
I mean, we're having the kids run the bases today post-game. They'll be out there. The players will still be hanging around signing autographs and stuff like that. That's not stuff you see with guys like, Bryce Harper. Yes,
right.
It doesn't really hang on the field while the kids are running and anything like that. So a little bit of an interesting year for all the teams you root for. A couple of trades and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's true.
It's been an interesting trade deadline as it comes through.
Yeah, the Orioles seem like they're going to be rebuilding. So
I'm a Braves fan personally.
Okay.
And my team is currently in the middle of a big rebuild. So I don't really root for the Orioles because I'm not from up here, but a lot of the people in the office are Orioles fans at the MLB level. And I'm encouraging all of them. There is a bright future because Atlanta's now leading the division. They've fallen a little bit behind the Phillies, but they're up towards the top of the division.
Yeah.
And we went through 2 years where we were the worst team in baseball. And I was telling the Orioles guys, I was like, I see the trades you're making. It's coming. You just got to have a positive outlook.
Hold it up, yep.
Rebuild rebuild is often better than try to reload, because then you'll end up paying people that just doesn't work out.
That's
you know.
true.
You've
That's
seen
true.
it time and time
It's
again.
best coming through the farm system.
So is baseball your favorite sport, or basketball, football in there as well?
Yeah, I would say football's probably number one. But
A
baseball.
Steelers fan?
Yeah, I'm a Steelers fan.
That's been a string of success.
Yeah.
Guys
I mean,
like
in the
Antonio Brown
territory
and
now.
Le'Veon Bell.
Right, that's true. Hopefully they can take it all the way this year.
That I'm hoping somebody beats the Patriots. I'll be honest.
Right.
As a Miami Dolphins fan, the Patriots are in our division, and I just kind of hope somebody beats them every year. And I think Pittsburgh has the best bet, with some of the defensive guys, and then obviously with Roethlisberger and Le'Veon and Antonio Brown, it's as good as it gets, really.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they had a chance last year, but they fell a little bit short.
They had that was a really good game, though.
Yeah.
We got a really good game here. 4-1 the score, but the Blue Crabs have the bases loaded in a 2-2 count to Frank Martin. He serves as the go-ahead run. The tying run is on first, as Asher Tolliver has come in and struggled. Silvestre went 4 innings. He threw a lot of pitches, 6 hits. Gave up just the 1 run, though. A solid outing for him. And now Tolliver's worked himself into a little bit of trouble here. See if maybe the Blue Crabs can get a win for you in your first game. Tolliver taking a long time in between pitches as the southpaw now finally comes set for the 2-2 to Martinez and delivers a line drive that's going to get down in left field. Martinez will score. They'll hold the next runner, but an RBI single from Frank Martinez, and now it's a 2-run game.
All right.
Blue Crabs trying to rally late here. You hear the crowd getting into it now finally. It's been a little bit of a quiet day from the crowd. They haven't had much to get excited about, but coming to life a little bit here in the bottom of the 5th. So growing up, did you go to a lot of Pirates game? Who was your guy?
Yeah, so I'm a little older, so the Pirates of the '70s were the ones that I kind of grew up with. So Willie Stargell and Dave Parker.
My
followed.
guy growing up is getting inducted into the Hall of Fame today. Actually, as I mentioned, I was a Braves fan. Chipper Jones.
Oh yeah.
Is going into the Hall of Fame today. I've got it set to record. I'm getting ready to watch.
Well, Atlanta had a great run there.
Yes.
Many years.
The Pirates of the 70s had some stars with the guys he mentioned, Stargell, and then obviously the one comes through, Bonds, for a while. Bonds was as good as it got in Pittsburgh.
That's true.
So there was
that was a good team too.
A lot of talent in Pittsburgh for a very long time.
They would lose to the Braves though.
That was just an extended. The thing that was different about Atlanta, it just extended. They didn't, they didn't win every year. They just won the division for a long time, but.
Right.
A lot of that goes to, I guess, the Expos kind of falling and folding and moving to Washington. And, there were various factors. Pittsburgh had those division rivals kind of hang around for a long time that made it a little more difficult. You've got the Astros that used to be back in that division with Hall of Famers like Bagwell and Biggio. So it's a little tougher competition, I'd say. But
right.
I really enjoyed watching. I'm a little too young. I'm only 23. So I got the latter part of Bonds' career when he was in San Francisco, but when you're in a
didn't
job,
see the Pittsburgh Bonds.
When you're in a job like this, you end up falling down those research, tunnels on YouTube and stuff. And Bonds was an MVP, I think, before he was on steroids. I don't think he was on steroids in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he wasn't. At least that's all indication is that he wasn't.
You're talking about a guy that was hitting 30 home runs and stealing 30 or 40 bases anyway, and he was just as good as it came in Major League Baseball for a long time, and he did it cleanly.
Yeah.
It looks like Long Island might make a pitching change after that strikeout. You've got a right-hander and Corey Vaughn on deck, and they will pull Tolliver from the game here. He'll leave the bases loaded. He's given up 1 in the inning. We'll take a quick break while we get the stats on the new pitcher. Tillman, thank you so much for joining me from Pump It Up.
Well, thank you. Thank you for bringing us out here. We want to thank all the Blue Crabs fans, and hopefully we'll see you guys soon at Pump It Up.
Make sure to check out Pump It Up. Like we said, just 10 minutes from the ballpark. Exclusive parties. They've got everything you could ever want. Pump It Up of Waldorf, a great partner. And if you don't get the chance to get out there before, make sure you come see them at this game in a couple of weeks.
All right, great. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much, Tillman. We'll be right back here with all the details you need and the bases loaded jam on the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network. bases loaded, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Blue Crabs, 1 already in the inning. They still trail by 2. Corey Vaughn will dig in against the new pitcher, Dennis O'Grady. As Vaughn swinging on the first pitch, fly ball to shallow center. Charging in is the center fielder, Vega. He'll camp underneath it and make the play. O'Grady takes just 1 pitch to escape this 5th inning, and escape is the correct word there. The Blue Crabs strand the bases loaded in the inning, but they do cut into the lead, 1 run on 4 hits, no errors. They leave 3 on base. 4-2 the score, and David Wayne Russo coming out of the bullpen. I'll hand things back over to Andrew Bandstra for 1 more inning. He'll take you through the top of the 6th. Taylor Ard leads it off when we return to the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Fans, is your family or work holiday party looking for a venue this coming fall or winter? Look no further than the newly renovated Legends Club at Regency Furniture Stadium, brought to you by the Blue Crabs. Numerous food and drink options and great flexible features mean the Legends Club will make your event the hit of the season. Call a sales executive today at 301-638-9788 for more information, or visit somdbluecrabs.com.
This is Austin Green from the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Join us every Tuesday home game as we turn 2 with our new Double Play Tuesdays. These nights, tickets are buy one, get one free in the box office, as well as BOGO on select items at the concession stands. For more information or to get tickets today, please visit us online at somdbluecrabs.com or call us at 301-638-9788.
Hey, this is Drake Britton, and you're listening to the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Welcome back inside the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network as we head into the top of the 6th inning of baseball. A 4-2 score in favor of your Blue Crabs. As we are just about a little over halfway through this ballgame, a new pitcher on the mound for the Blue Crabs spells the end of the starter Casey Delgado's day. Final line for Delgado reads as follows: 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 runs, all earned. 1 walk to 5 apologies for any technical difficulties that were encountered in this past half inning. What you have missed is a new pitcher on the mound for the Blue Crabs as a 1-0 count. Comes up to the batter, Cody Puckett. David Wayne Russo, the new pitcher in for these Blue Crabs. Final line on Casey Delgado. 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned. 1 walk and 5 strikeouts as Puckett swings through a pitch, 1-1 the count. The new pitcher in for the Blue Crabs, David Wayne Russo. Russo on the season sports a record of 1-2 with a 4.35 ERA as the lefty comes in to face Puckett. Back-to-back singles led off this inning from Taylor Ard and David Washington as the ball's roped to left field. Teodoro Martinez covers some serious ground, gets under it, and a line shot of a throw to second base nearly doubles off Taylor Ard. Instead, it turns out to just be a humpback line drive to left field that's put away by Teodoro Martinez for out number 1. That gives you some comfort if you are Russo, because it turns back-to-back singles with none down into all of a sudden the 8-hole hitter coming up, 0 for 2 on the day, and you're 1 ground ball away from a double play ending out in this game. We are in the top of the 6th inning of baseball played. Russo set for this first pitch to the batter, who comes up in the form of Anthony Vega, swings through the first pitch, and he falls behind 0-1 in the count to Russo. Vega with a pair of outs to this point, coming by a ground out to the second baseman Nina, as well as a pop out to the other middle infielder, that Edwin Garcia, swinging through a slider from the left-handed pitching Russo that works its way on the outer half, making the batter Vega fall back 0-2. Russo, a tough guy to face if you're a left-handed hitter. You look at guys like Chris Sale, who attack left-handed hitters with those filthy sliders. Russo doing the same here. It's got to be so hard for a left-handed hitter to pick up. This one chopped into center, going back and giving a lot of chase backwards is Vaughn. He ends up getting it under his glove, but deep enough that it'll bring Taylor Ard over to third base. So that puts 2 down in the inning for the Ducks, with their 9-hole hitter approaching in the form of Audi Afner. So 2 down after the leadoff singles, and now a pair of flyouts. And runners on the corners for the Ducks. Afner so far on the day 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a lineout. That lineout went straight to right field. Very well played by Angelo Sanco. That came back in the 4th inning of play. Afner with his first start in this series, coming in the finale as he'll catch the inside corner Will Casey Delgado for strike number 1. Afner with a very open stance to face off against Delgado. Excuse me, not Delgado, Russo, as Delgado's day has come to an end. The lefty Russo catches on the outside corner and works himself ahead in the count 0-2. Be very impressive if Russo could work around those 2 leadoff singles and end up with a scoreless half of this 6 that would really keep the Blue Crabs in this game. A ball chopped over to the right side, gets out of play, and that'll even the count, make that keep the count at 0-2. Audi Afner spent 3 years in the Yankees organization after being drafted out of Oral Roberts University back in 2015. The catcher's hitting .216 on the season for the Ducks with no home runs and a single RBI. Russo steps off, and he'll get the signs once again from his catcher Maddox, preparing for the 0-2 delivery. Set and ready for the runners on the corners 0-2 delivery. Here it comes. This one misses in the dirt and inside. Maddox calls time and requests for a new baseball. Request granted, and the count 1-2 to the 9-hole hitter Afner. The Blue Crabs come into this game with a record of 7-10 in the second half, 4.5 back in the Freedom Division. The Ducks come into the game with a 9-8 record, 5 games back in the Liberty Division. This ball sent well over to the right side, but right at the right fielder, Angelo Sanko, who puts it in the back of his glove for out number 3. So a very impressive turnaround in this top of the 6th inning by David Wayne Russo. After no run score, that comes on a pair of leadoff singles back-to-back. 2 runners left on base and no errors in the inning. Puts us through 6.5 innings of baseball played when we return on the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network. The Blue Crabs will send up 8-9-1. That means Craig Maddox, Angelis Nina, and Teodoro Martinez. We'll have that right here for you, so don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back on the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Hey, this is James Frisbee, and you're listening to the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Blue Crabs fans, on Friday night, September 14th, the Blue Crabs will honor all of those brave men and women who risk their lives for ours every day as we host First Responders Night. First responders will receive special ticket discounts, and active and retired military can too, as it is the final Remember Everyone Deployed Friday night, brought to you by Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation. That night, the Blue Crabs will auction off their red jerseys for a worthwhile military charity. It's also College of Southern Maryland's 60th birthday bash, brought to you by College of Southern Maryland Alumni and Friends Connection. So whatever your reason, come finish the regular season with the Blue Crabs. Get your tickets today at somdbluecrabs.com or call 301-638-9788.
Washington sports fans, rock your red, wear your curly W's, and break out your burgundy and gold for Washington Sports Night on Friday night, August 10th. That night, there will be a special Washington Sports t-shirt giveaway for the first fans in attendance, so arrive early. And don't miss a special appearance by the Racing Presidents from Nationals Park. To get your tickets today, stop by the E-Trepid box office, visit somdbluecrabs.com, or call 301-638-9788.
Hi, this is Ryan Chafee, and you're listening to the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
I'm pleased to welcome you back inside Regency Furniture Stadium as the Blue Crabs head in to the bottom of the 6th inning of baseball. The next batter to come up for the Blue Crabs, the 8-hole hitter Craig Maddox, who on the day is 1 for 2 with a single. Last time Maddox reached, it was on a 2-out single that came back in the 4th. Angelis Nina then followed that up with a double to the left center wall. Maddox tried to stretch that into a first to third, tried to come all the way from first to home to score. He was cut down by a good relay from the center fielder and the shortstop. This time he sends a shot into center field. Another single for Maddox makes him 2 for 3 on the day. And that puts the Blue Crabs in good rhythms as a leadoff single will bring up Angelis Nina. The Blue Crabs fare very well when they have confidence. They do so well when they put runs up on the board first in a ball game. You look back at the numbers on this entire season. When the Blue Crabs score first, they're 22-14. So obviously having a leadoff hit is going to fare well for their efforts. This the second leadoff hit in the ball game for the Blue Crabs. The last came in the first inning. They did not score in that inning. And the count 1-0 to the batter Angelis Nina. Told you I'd give you another story yesterday. I told you I had 2 stories on Angelis Nina as the count moves to 1-1. I told you yesterday the story about his affairs this season. Now give you a little bit of a history on Nina. You look back at his career, he was signed as an international free agent by the Colorado Rockies. He was an incredible player. He batted north of 300 in AAA, which definitely means you'd think he'd end up getting called up. The only issue for Nina as the count runs to 1-2 to the second baseman. That's the issue right there, that he's a second baseman. You look at their infield, it's absolutely phenomenal. The left side in particular. At third base, you have Nolan Arenado, one of the best, if not the best, left side infielders in all of the MLB. And then at shortstop, obviously, Trevor Story. And you look around the rest of the infield, it's not much room that you could really improve as Nina floats one back. Count stays at 1-2. So for a guy like Nina, It's just something that happens in sports, unfortunately. No matter how good you are, if you get stuck in a situation where you're right behind one of the best that we see in the game of baseball, it kind of puts you in a tough spot. As Nina now trying to hopefully work his way back up to the show one day. He'll take a curveball on the outside corner that'll set him down on strikes. That the first strikeout of this game for Dennis O'Grady, who entered the ball game last inning. Strikeout looking the first looking strikeout of the day for the Blue Crabs. Flips the lineup back to the top, where the leadoff hitter Teodoro Martinez comes into this ball game rocking a 2-for-3 effort with a run scored. Interestingly enough, the one time Teo was set down this ball game, it was probably the time when he gave the ball the best ride that he has all day, as the count goes to 1-0. He's had 2 singles, both of them well hit, but none hit better than the frozen rope line drive he sent to right field back in the 3rd inning that was caught out of thin air by the right fielder Snyder. So realistically, he could be 3 for 3, but you'll take 2 for 3. It's a pretty good day as the count goes to 1-1. Teo 0 for 2 with a run scored in yesterday's game. He ended up subbing in for Ryan Strasburger in the 3rd inning of that affair. Make that 6 seasons in the Texas organization, Texas Rangers, and then spent a couple with the Yankees as a ball will be ripped down the left field line. That leaves Regency Furniture Stadium, but unfortunately outside of the left field foul pole. So if you're Dennis O'Grady, the arm on the mound, you just have to view that as a long strike number 2. If you're Teodoro Martinez, it's hard to think of anything else, but I just sent that ball on an absolute ride, and I look out to the left fielder Lou Ford, who's still giving me a lot of room down that left field line. Teo, not a guy that tends to pull the ball all too often. He'll float one into shallow right field that'll stay in the infield grass. David Washington a couple of steps forward and puts it away with ease in that big first base glove for out number 2. 2 down, 1 on. That runner stands at first in the form of Craig Maddox. And that brings up Edwin Garcia, who has a 1 for 3 line to his name to this point in the day. 2 flyouts and a single. That single came back in the 3rd inning. Garcia, the shortstop, last year's team MVP. Also in all defensive selection in the Atlantic League. Will await the O'Grady delivery. A little bit of a change-up works its way in the inner half. Falling behind in the count is Garcia, 0-1. Garcia, the Blue Crabs' everyday shortstop. He'll await the O'Grady 0-1. He'll drill that one into right center. Coming into the ball and making a beautiful, all-stretched-out play is Travis Snyder. Snyder makes an absolute web gem to rob Edwin Garcia of what was sure to be a hit. And if that gets past Travis Snyder, probably extra bases. Unfortunately for the Blue Crabs, that will spell the end of their bottom of the 6th inning. It comes with no runs, 1 hit, a runner stranded, no errors in the inning, which puts us through 2/3 of a ball game. When we return on the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network, a new arm on the bump and a new voice on the play-by-play. Brandon Bulanda will take you through the rest of the game, and we'll be right back on the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Hey, this is David Wayne Russo, and you're listening to the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Calling all Jedis, please report to Regency Furniture Stadium on July 28th for Star Wars Night, as the Blue Crabs take on Long Island. This night will feature an appearance by Jedi Saber Combat and a post-game fireworks spectacular. For more information on this or other exciting events throughout the season, please visit our website at somdbluecrabs.com, or you can call us at 301-638-9788.
This is Brandon Compton, right-handed pitcher for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Join our team every Friday home game as we honor those who serve our country by remembering everyone deployed. Every Red Friday, the team will wear red jerseys brought to you by Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation. All active and former military members receive $5 tickets with their ID. For more information or to get tickets today, please visit us online at somdbluecrabs.com or call us at 301-638-9788.
Hey, this is Corey Vaughn, and you're listening to the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Welcome back to the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network. We head into the top of the 7th inning of baseball played. A new lineup comes up in the form of the top of the lineup, Jordani Valdespine, the first Long Island Duck to come up to the plate to face the new pitcher, Shane Watson. Watson on the bump, relieving after an inning pitched by David Wayne Russo. Russo allowed 2 hits in his 1 inning of work, no runs, no strikeouts or walks. So a good 6th inning by Russo sets up Watson to keep this Ducks lead where it is and try to allow his offense to crack its way back in. First pitch catches the inside corner to Valdespine, who all series long has shown absolutely no interest in swinging at any first pitches he sees from these Blue Crabs pitchers. Watson set at the belt out of the stretch. Little chopper over to the right side off the bat of Valdespine will put him away 0-2 in the count. Valdespine 2 for 3 on the day. Came into the series with a 19-game hit streak, and then he snapped it with back-to-back hitless games. He's turned that around at this point in the ballgame. Scored 2 runs for the Ducks, 2 of the 4. Watson prepares for the 0-2, a chopper to the shortstop. After a couple of bounces, gobbled up and swung across the infield. Garcia to Rodriguez for out number 1. A quick first out puts away the leadoff hitter Jordani Valdespine. That brings up Emilio Bonifacio, who finds himself 1 for 3 in the ballgame. But if he's a man that likes to keep stats, realistically the only thing that matters to him is that he got that base hit. He extended his 20-game hit streak into a 21-game hit streak with that leadoff hit. League Player of the Month in 2011, and the month of July will step into the left-handed batter's box and swing through the first Watson pitch for strike number 1. In this series for Bonifacio, he's been very solid. He's 4 for 8 coming into this game. He has a double, a triple, 2 stolen bases, and 20 total bases just in this series. As the ball will cross, that makes the count 1-1 to the shortstop Bonifacio. Couple of everyday starters we've seen in this series, not in the lineup for the Ducks. Bring in a new catcher, bring in a couple of new faces as the ball's hit into the left center gap. That should be extra bases as it'll roll its way to the left center wall. And strolling into second base standing is Bonifacio with a one-out double. So I may have put a jinx on that, folks, and my apologies if I did, because I'm mentioning all the extra base hits that Bonifacio has tallied in this series as he adds another one to his ledger and puts on a runner with one down. Standing in scoring position is Bonifacio, and that brings up the right fielder, Travis Snyder. Snyder 1 for 3 on the day. He had an RBI double back in the third inning that scored the second Long Island run of the ballgame at the time. You see a deep Edwin Garcia not only holding on the runner, but playing into a Travis Snyder shift. As a sinker will work its way on the outer half. That makes the count 0-1 to the batter, Snyder. Snyder, the former 14th overall pick in the MLB draft by the Blue Jays back in 2006, will pitch from Shane Watson that catches on the inner half, and that makes the count 0-2. Watson back and set on the mound, awaiting his sign. He's got it from his catcher, Maddox. Now he comes set. Set at the belt to check back to second. A long look at Bonifacio. And time called by Travis Snyder will make the pitcher Watson have to do it all over again. Watson also a former first-round pick. He was the 40th pick, so that comes in the later portions, not the normal first round, but in the complementary picks that come in the latter half. The 40th overall pick from the Philadelphia Phillies back in 2012. The set and the delivery, a curveball misses on the outer half off the hands of Watson, and that moves the count to 1-2. The numbers on the season for Shane Watson. He comes into this ballgame with a 4-0 record, a 5.81 ERA here in his 29th appearance. He has 13 walks to 26 strikeouts. He'll prepare for the 1-2 to Snyder. An inside fastball swung on and missed by Travis Snyder. Set down on strikes is the 3-hole right fielder, and that brings up the ever-present threat of the big bat of Lou Ford. Trying to bring in that run in scoring position is Lou Ford. Watson has different ideas in mind. As Ford, the left fielder, 0 for 2 with a walk on the day. 1 strikeout looking, 1 swinging. Righty on righty matchup inbound off the right arm of Shane Watson. Watson has his sign. Now he'll come set with Maddox set in the inner half. First pitch catches the inside corner. And that'll make the count 0-1 to Ford. Ford really far away from the plate, if you can see that at all. He's nowhere near the inner half of the batter's box, so maybe attacking him outside will be Shane Watson. Watson does just that, but it will miss inches low, which evens up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. For Ford on the season, with runners in scoring position and 2 down, he has 19 RBIs, but just a 240 average as compared to his 291 season average. Watson was uncomfortable with how far off the runner Bonifacio was at second, so he'll step off to make sure he stays within himself, and that makes the count stay right at 1-1. Watson set at the belt, now comes home with the pitch, chopped back and foul by Lou Ford. And that puts Watson ahead in the count 1-2. Ford, in his 7 MLB seasons, a .268 batter. This season has 58 RBIs to his name, and he'll step in and prepare for the 1-2 from Watson. That 58 RBI mark, good for 3rd in the Atlantic League, as a chopper sent over to the left side, escapes fair play, and the count will stay right where it is at 1-2. The hitting coach in his 5th season as a hitting coach, the Duck in his 9th season as a Duck, will step back into his right-handed batter's box. A lean back from Lou Ford in a closed stance and a 2-strike approach as the Watson pitch awaits. That pitch sent over to the right side. Sanko has to come in on a run. Rounding third is Bonifacio, with throw in is going to be cut off by the first baseman. That's Devin Rodriguez, and an RBI single plates in a Long Island Duck who comes home in the form of Emilio Bonifacio. 59th RBI on the season for Lou Ford. moves him no higher up on the RBI ladder, but he does sit just south of that 60 mark, which is 3 under the league lead. That brings up the 5-hole hitter and the 5th batter in this inning, Taylor Ard. There have been 3 innings in which these Ducks have scored in this ballgame. All 3 of those innings have come when the leadoff batter, Jordani Valdespin, led off the inning. First pitch to Ard fouled straight back, 0-1 the count. Obviously, the first inning of the game, Jordani Valdespin led that inning off. Then they did score a run in that inning. And then in the 3rd inning, Valdespin also led that inning off. That led to 3 Ducks runs. And now in the 7th inning, Valdespin leads it off again, and they played another. That the 10th hit on the day, as a ball will get past the outstretched glove of the catcher Craig Maddox. A wild pitch will move a runner into scoring position for the batter Taylor Ard. Don't sleep on the Jets of the left fielder who stands at second base, Lou Ford. At 41 years old, he can still move. Back in his day, he was actually ranked as the best defensive outfielder in all of the Boston Red Sox organization. He was also the best defensive outfielder in all of Class A in minor league baseball in 2000. Watson comes home with a fastball, swinging right through it. The batter, Taylor Ard, who falls behind, no balls and 2 strikes. Ard 2 for 3 on the day with 2 RBIs. The former 7th round draft pick by the Mariners back in 2012 will re-strap his batting gloves and step back in for the 0-2 pitch. Watson's got his sign from Maddox, who's set on the outside corner. The pitch sent high in the air to left field. Teodoro Martinez goes back at the track. There he goes way deep and gets it in the back of his glove for a run-saving web gem by Teodoro Martinez. Some serious range shown by the left fielder to keep the Blue Crabs only 3 under the 5 runs that the Ducks have put up in this ballgame. One of those came in this inning. That comes off 2 hits, 1 runner left on base, and no errors, which sends us to the 7th inning stretch. We're through 6.5 in Southern Maryland when we return. A new arm on the bump for the Blue Crabs. We'll be right back on the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Dr. Milu and the courteous and professional staff at Cancer and Blood Disorders Treatment Center in Waldorf want you to know that for cases of cancer and blood disorders such as anemia, leukemia, and lymphoma, you don't have to travel all the way to D.C. or Baltimore to get high-quality, compassionate care close to home. Established in 1995, Cancer and Blood Disorders Treatment Center offers expertise, experience, and the highest standards needed for successful treatment of cancer and blood disorders. Dr. Milu is excited to be a part of the Blue Crabs family as the new sponsor of the Silver Sluggers program and games for the 2017 season. For more information or to schedule a consultation, call 301-638-1007 or visit cancerandblooddisorderscenter.com.
This is Devin Rodriguez from the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Join us every Tuesday home game as we turn to with our new Double Play Tuesdays. These nights, tickets are buy one, get one free in the box office, as well as buy one, get one on select items at the concession stands. For more information or to get tickets today, please visit us online at somdbluecrabs.com or call us at 301-638-9788.
5-2, Blue Crabs trail as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Brandon Belanda back here alongside Andrew Banstra. A 5-2 score will be handed to Logan Ondrusik, who will kick and deliver. The first pitch of Ondrusik's day is a fly ball towards left, and 1 pitch, 1 out for the right-hander. Starts his day out of the bullpen. If the score holds, the win will be credited to Dennis O'Grady. Silvestre, the starter for Long Island, only went 4 innings, so he's not eligible for the win today. Ondrusik, the hard-throwing former big leaguer, making just his second appearance of the year as well. No record and a 9 ERA for him as John Griffin digs in and takes pitch number 1 for ball 1. The line score for the Long Island Ducks so far today looks like this. 4 innings, 6 hits, 1 run, 3 strikeouts for Griffin sends a chopper towards third. It's handled at third by Puckett across to first for the 5-3 putout. Asher Tolliver struggled 2/3 of an inning, 4 hits. He gave up a run, struck out 1 as well. And then Dennis O'Grady gets the 1 1/3 innings, just 1 hit, no runs, and a strikeout for him. Ondrusik has 2 outs on 3 pitches, so he picked up right where O'Grady left off to this point. As taking on the outside corner for a fastball is Frank Martinez, and the count goes to no balls and 1 strike.
Ondrusik spent 6 years in the majors, 5 with the Reds, 1 with the Orioles. He had a 21-11 record over his career with a 4.03 ERA.
Chris Mazza is warming up in the Blue Crabs bullpen. It looks like he'll be tasked with the top of the 8th as Martinez takes 2 balls and 1 strike. This lead nowhere near insurmountable for Southern Maryland to this point. They've stranded the bases loaded once in the game, though, and that is where you'll look if things go wrong, as this one swung through, and the count goes to 2-2. That 5th inning, they put up 1 run, but so much more it felt like could have happened in that inning.
I completely agree. It's the one you look back to and you wish would have come more of it. They put up 7 batters in the inning. Realistically, it could have been a breakaway inning.
So far on the night, they've stranded 8 on base as Martinez has a 2-2 count here. Ondrusik comes set and delivers. Fouled back, 2-2. Ondrusik generates plenty of power from that 6'8", 230 frame. Easy power is what they call it when you see him throw.
That's the best way to describe it. It realistically, it doesn't even look like he's trying to throw the ball hard, and it just zips off his right hand.
When you're 6'8" and can get on top of pitches the way somebody like Logan Ondrusik can, it's very simple to generate a lot of speed on some of the fastballs. But he mixes it up here with a changeup as that swung on and missed. And down on strikes goes Martinez. An easy 1-2-3 frame for Ondrusik as he retires the side in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We'll head to the top of the 8th. Looks like Mazza will come on when we return to the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Hey, this is Shane Watson, and you're listening to Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Blue Crabs fans, Vicelli Pizza, known to have the best pizza in town, is offering you 20% off your order. That's right, 20% off. Just use code 779 to take advantage of this limited time offer. Vicelli offers pizzas, pastas, subs, wings, salads, and more. You can place your order for pickup or delivery online at Vicelli Pizza, VOCELLI.com, or call 301-705-5858, as well as visiting Vicelli Pizza at their Waldorf location, 11850 Park Waldorf Lane. Vicelli Pizza, delivering classic Italian quality.
Shopping for groceries in a clean, friendly store? That's smart. Shopping for groceries in a clean, friendly store and saving some money while you're doing it? That's wise. At Wise Markets, you'll find all your favorite brands, prices you'll appreciate. That means more meat for less money, more dinner for less dinero, and more milk for less moolah. Stop by a Wise Market today.
Eat better, spend less. That's wise.
Chris Mazza, the new pitcher for Southern Maryland here as we head to the top of the 8th. David Washington digs in to lead things off here for the Ducks as he takes first pitch fastball from the right-hander for a called strike, and we go to no balls and 1 strike.
Mazza 1-0 record here in his 5th appearance, all in relief. He has not allowed a run yet to this point.
As a fly ball sent towards left field on the run is Teodoro Martinez reaching out, and he'll snatch it on full sprint for the first out in the inning. A good play out there from Teodoro. Retires Washington, and that'll bring up Cody Puckett. 0 for 3 on the day is Puckett.
Not a bad start to his Blue Crabs career for the pitcher Mazza. You know, five games not having allowed a run. You'll take that if you're head coach James Frisbee.
Absolutely, you'll take that out of every reliever if you can get it. As Mazza delivers this one, swung on and missed. Mazza, the 4th pitcher to throw today. Casey Delgado went 5. He gave up 4 runs on 6 hits. Struck out 5, though, as Mazza gets another swing and miss, 0-2. So a decent return for Delgado. It looks like he had the velocity back. That was the issue with the lat strain. They were worried about how much of the velo was going to stay there, and 5 strikeouts means that it was relatively working pretty well. David Wayne Russo had a scoreless inning after that in the 6th. Shane Watson allowed a run on 2 hits in the 7th, and now Mazza is tasked with this 8th inning. 5 runs on 10 hits, 1 error for the Ducks. 2 runs on 11 hits, 1 error for the Blue Crabs. They've out-hit but not outscored Long Island to this point. The 0-2 is fouled back as staying alive is Puckett. The story of this game has no doubt been the left on base. You've got 6 left on base for Long Island to this point, and on the other side for the Blue Crabs, they've left 8 already.
That's why you look back at that 5th inning when you leave the bases stranded. Also for the Blue Crabs, they left the bases stranded in the 3rd.
You look back at that as swinging and missing is Puckett. He's down on strikes. But you look back at that, and you look back at the runner getting thrown out at the plate in what I believe was the 4th inning, where Maddox was trying to come home and score on a double from Nina. He got cut down attempting to do that. Could have been a run, but it's taken off the board when a strong throw cut him down, and then you strand the bases loaded in the next inning. That's basically the difference in the ball game. This one misses, so the count at 1 ball and no strikes.
Depicts why exactly it is that the Blue Crabs are out hitting the Ducks, but not outscoring them. Sometimes that's just the way it works. I don't think it's been the execution of the Blue Crabs from a strategical standpoint that's been the flaw. I just think that some days those are the days you have.
You saw a very near no-hitter in Major League Baseball today. Sean Newcomb of the Atlanta Braves flirted with the no-hitter. He got 8 2/3, 134 pitches for Newcomb before finally a dribbler single from Chris Taylor broke it up The run ended up coming around to score, but the Braves do get the 4-1. Newcomb will go 8 2/3 with 1 earned run. That's a heck of a day, Andrew.
It sure is, but that's just the thing about baseball sometimes is that you go 8 2/3 strong, 134 pitches in one little dribbler can take you from having a very coveted spot in MLB history to just a great outing.
He got it through the left side of the infield. The infield was shifted much like the Blue Crabs are now, with Garcia up the middle and Martinez at the third base back. A big hole, and Chris Taylor found it to break it up. 1 pitch away from, like you said, having your name in the history books, but still a solid day for Sean Newcomb, and one he'll no doubt never forget.
Little things can just change a ball game. I mean, it's one thing if somebody rips a line drive into the gap. Then at that point you say, well, that would have been awesome, but I tipped my cap. But that's one that sticks with you, one of those what-ifs when it's a single that sneaks through the infield.
Called strike 3 here as down looking goes Vega, and that will retire the side. A 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base, and a pair of strikeouts on the line for Chris Mazza. Blue Crabs trail by 3. They've got 6 outs to get it done, though. It starts in the bottom of the 8th with Angelo Sonko on the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Hilltop Signs and Graphics is the official signage partner of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs this 2018 season and specializes in custom signage, vehicle wraps and decals, site lighting, and much more. Since 1992, Hilltop's top priority has been providing customers in the DMV area with the highest quality product. Call today at 301-373-7878 to start your project, or visit hilltopsignsmd.com for more information. Hilltop Signs and Graphics, where design, fabrication, and installation is our expertise. Blue Crabs fans, your group of 20 or more can join us all season long with any of our several group hospitality areas at Regency Furniture Stadium. Our spacious and modern amenities can entertain your group starting at just $10 per person. The open-air picnic pavilion, upscale Legends Club, or luxury suites provide the backdrop for great nights at the ballpark. Call group sales at 301-638-9788 for more info or to book your group today.
Angelo Sonko digs in to lead things off here in the bottom of the 8th. 6-7-8 due up for the Blue Crabs. They trail 5-2 as Colton Murray will take over. He'll serve as the setup man for what you can only assume would be Francisco Rodriguez in the bottom of the 9th, should the score hold where it is. Murray's first pitch of the night, or afternoon, I guess still, 4:40 here local time. A fastball on the outside corner called strike.
Murray's numbers on the season, 0-2 with a 6.23 ERA in 13 innings pitched.
Sonko laces a line drive towards right. Definitely misplayed there by Snyder. Now tries to backtrack and leap. It gets over his head. Sonko on his way to second. He'll make the turn, but will hold there. We'll see the ruling on that one. It's going to be a double for Sonko, as Snyder never got a piece of it. A mental error, but those don't count on the scorebook, and Sonko's in scoring position. I knew right off of the bat that had a little more on it than I think Travis Snyder thought. He took 2 steps in and hung himself out to dry there, as before that was over his head, I said he had misplayed it, and no doubt he did. It got up over his leaping glove for a double.
I was wondering why he was coming in so much when I saw that ball go out. I was kind of double-checking myself, thinking, well, maybe he didn't hit that ball so hard, but he definitely did. Sonko's been on a tear of late.
Corey Vaughn digs in now. He's got a home run on the day. He'll look to add another to the tally as Murray's first pitch fastball way high out of the zone. That's off the glove of Afner and to the backstop. Sonko will advance into third on the wild pitch. And now 90 feet away from cutting the lead a little bit more is Angelo Sonko. And here come the Blue Crabs.
And a great job by the Blue Crabs taking care of that. Sometimes it's the little things in the games where you leave so many runners on. You have the hits to show it, but not necessarily the runs. Sometimes it takes the other team giving you a couple of presents for you to cash in.
Corey Vaughn with a big cut here fouls this one back into the crowd, and the crowd will, or the count, excuse me, will sit at 1-1.
Only the second wild pitch of the year for Murray, here in his 14th inning pitched on the year.
We'll see if Vaughn can come through with another RBI on the day. As a check swing here on a breaking ball. Did he go? No swing, says the first base umpire, Silvio Martinez. And the count at 2 balls and 1 strike.
Brandon, when Vaughn gets on those tears, when he just can't not hit the ball, every time he touches the ball, it rockets off of his bat. He's been on one of those tears in these past couple of days. See if he can continue it.
This one misses high, 3-1. Even though it's not showing up on the stat sheet as hits, the power has been shown. Like you said, he's hitting it hard. He's just not finding the right spots. It's been line outs to people, deep fly balls. Last night he hit one that any other night would have been out, but the wind was blowing in for a change, and it's caught. A big swing on an elevated 3-1 fastball. I think that was ball 4, but it was up in his eyes, and he couldn't lay off, and the count runs full.
It's hard to lay off in that circumstance. You already have a home run to your name on the day, and if that goes over the fence, you see a 1-run game instead of a 3-run game, as we still see now.
The payoff pitch upcoming, Murray versus Vaughn, as the right-hander kicks and delivers. Fastball misses outside, and Vaughn draws a walk. Murray asking where it missed. Mike Williams is telling him outside. He's not very happy about it, and neither is the Long Island dugout, as Williams has ripped his mask off and is barking into the dugout at manager Kevin Baez. Baez pacing the steps, but not coming out. It looks like he'll be able to stay alive in this ball game. Runners on the corners. Nobody out for Craig Maddox. That was a very close pitch. You can see why Murray wanted it. That's a tide changer for strike 3. It sucks a little wind out of the stadium, but instead, now you've got the tying run in the plate, and a big swing from Craig Maddox on a fastball fouls it off.
Maddox already 2 for 3 on the day, as well as a line out to the center fielder. So a very good day to this point for the catcher. But you're right, that was a close pitch. Vaughn, a good eye on that pitch, but it could have gone either way. Luckily for the Blue Crabs, now the tying run is up to the plate.
0-1 the count on that tying run as Murray kicks and delivers. Change up, and out in front of that a little bit was Maddox as he fouls it off 0-2.
Kind of twisted up Maddox on that pitch. I think he was sitting fastball when he saw the slider come in. He was kind of thrown off. He had already shifted his weight forward, which had him so off balance there was no coming back from it.
So now Murray comes set for the 0-2 here. kicks and delivers. Maddox pushes one the other way. An excuse me swing. It's going to sneak by the third baseman Puckett and down into the corner. 1 run will score. Vaughn being waved around. He'll score easily. And Maddox is in with a 2 RBI double. 5-4 the score now, and Southern Maryland has the tying run in scoring position with still nobody out in the inning.
You wonder if this doesn't spell the end of the day for Colton Murray, as he's already taken a look down to the bullpen to see if he's done.
That'll bring Baez out of the dugout, and you know that manager Kevin Baez can't possibly be too happy right now with the plate umpire Mike Williams. I'd be shocked if this doesn't last long enough that Williams heads out there, because what could have been a called strike 3 to Vaughn ends up being a walk, and Vaughn now comes across to score, and Maddox is standing in scoring position as the tying run. Baez will quietly head back to his dugout, though, after the meeting between pitcher, catcher, and manager.
Well, you know, we look back and we talk about that Braves game where a hit that is a ground ball that gets through the infield changes the game completely. That's the way the game works. Maddox, a beautiful piece of hitting. He couldn't do much with that pitch. I wonder if he wasn't just trying to foul it off and gets it down the line.
He couldn't take it, because if you take it and you ring up looking there, you're in danger of a double play to end the inning. So you had to get a piece of it somehow. And with the infield way in like that, as Angelise Nina lays down a beautiful sacrifice bunt, it came up and in. Nina had to duck out of the way. He didn't even leave the batter's box for about 5 seconds. But beautifully done, as he knew he had to get it down at all costs. He does so successfully. And now the tying run is 90 feet away with the top of the order coming up. Everyone on the top step to greet Angelise Nina as he heads back to the dugout after doing your job, and that's what it comes down to. Do your job. Maddox's job was to find a way to avoid the strikeout in his at-bat. It comes with a check swing double down the line because the infield was in. And then it was Nina's turn to do his job and lay down a bunt, move him over. And now it's Teodoro's job to drive him in. It could be a sacrifice fly. It could be a hit. But either way, next man up as Teo takes a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. They say keep the line moving. That's a term you hear all the time. Keep the line moving. Nina kept the line moving, and now it's Teo's turn to keep the line moving.
You're exactly right, and you can't underestimate how frightening that had to have been for Nina. A 90-mile-an-hour fastball coming right at his mouth. He stays in there and moves the runner over. Very impressive.
Murray drops a curveball here. A very good stop from Affner to keep it in front of him. And things even up. 1 ball and 1 strike. That could have easily bounced up over the head of the catcher or between his legs, but he made himself a big frame on the ground and kept it in front of him to keep the tying run from scoring. Sam Runyon is up and throwing in the Blue Crabs bullpen. It looks like he'll come on for the 9th. Murray ready for the 1-1. Kicks and delivers. Martinez with a fly ball the other way. It's going to be pushed a little bit too far to the right as it'll get out of play foul. But Martinez knew what he had to do. He waited back, tried to get underneath something and push it to the outfield where you could get Maddox across to score. Maddox not the greatest speed. We've already seen him thrown out at the plate once, so Teo can't go too shallow, but he's got a number of opportunities, and this is one of the toughest guys in the league to strike out at the end of the day. So with this infield in, he can choke up and try to poke something through here. A breaking ball. That one slips out of the hand and goes well high. 2-2 we go.
Teo already 2 for 4 on the day with a run scored. One of his better days at the plate, and you expect that coming here at home where he's a .368 hitter.
15th multi-hit game of the season for Teo. That's what you want to see from somebody that hits towards the top. He spends a lot of time in the 1 or 3 holes. Tying run at third, a 2-2 count with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. Murray kicks and delivers. Martinez a chopper. That's going to hit off the back of the mound, but it's not deep enough to allow Maddox to score. Bonifacio will pick it up, give a look to the runner, and flip to first for out number 2. And Murray knew he gave everything he had to try to stop that, but not breaking for the plate was Maddox. I think if he broke there, he might have been able to score, but he was in danger of getting thrown out if Murray's able to get it.
Yeah, and I think you give it up to Edwin Garcia in this situation. I think that's a smart move to not go because he's already been cut down in the game. If it's a guy like Corey Vaughn or Teodoro Martinez at third, you probably send him there. But now you just let Edwin Garcia finish the job.
You need a 2-out hit. He's 1 for 4 on the day. And he takes a fastball high and inside, 1-0. Garcia leaned out of the way of that one. Caught in the very tip of the glove. Snow cone there from Effner as he stops yet another wild pitch from potentially allowing Maddox to tie the game. Murray sets for the 1-0, kicks and delivers a fastball right there for a called strike to even things up at 1-1. Bonifacio, the shortstop, for the first time I've seen in the game, is now charging towards the second base bag every single throw back. He knows how important this game is. He's not willing to let a missed throw from the catcher back to the pitcher cost him a run. Breaking ball misses high, 2 balls and 1 strike. You see a new ball asked for in time by the catcher. So Bonifacio doesn't have to go too far this time because it's a dead ball currently in the count at 2 balls and 1 strike.
But I love that effort from Bonifacio. I mean, you're talking about a mid-30-year-old who still has the passion for the game to take those extra steps. Typically, that's something you stop seeing after maybe the high school level. But Bonifacio still has the passion and love for the game. He'll still do it every day.
2-1 Garcia, hot shot, but right at the second baseman, Valdespin. He'll pick it up on a hop and flip to first, and that will retire the side in the inning. But the Blue Crabs rally for 2 in the frame, a 2 RBI double from Maddox. They put up 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We'll head to the 9th. 9-1-2 due up for the Ducks. They'll look to add to their lead. Sam Runyon will look to hold things right where it is and set up his team with a chance to tie it or walk it off in the bottom half when we return to the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Washington sports fans, rock your red, wear your curly W's, and break out your burgundy and gold for Washington Sports Night on Friday night, August 10th. That night, there will be a special Washington Sports t-shirt giveaway for the first fans in attendance, so arrive early, and don't miss a special appearance by the Racing Presidents from Nationals Park. To get your tickets today, stop by the E-Trepid box office, visit somdbluecrabs.com, or call 301-638-9788. Join our team every Friday home game as we honor those who serve our country by remembering everyone deployed. Every Red Friday, the team will wear military-inspired jerseys brought to you by Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation. All active and former military members receive $5 tickets with their military ID. For more information or to get tickets today, please visit us online at somdbluecrabs.com or call us at 301-638-9788.
(9-1-2) will face Sam Runyon here in the top of the 9th. A 5-4 deficit for the Blue Crabs. Runyon looks to keep it right there as his first pitch, a fastball to Audie Effner. A called strike, 0-1 goes the count. A breaking ball here. This one goes a bit too far out of the zone, and the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike to Effner. 0 for 3 on the day is the catcher. Runyon, 6'4", 220 pounds, out of Asheville, North Carolina. The 29-year-old in his second season here in Southern Maryland. Comes set up above his head, now kicks and delivers a breaking ball. That one's fouled off the other way, and the count goes to 1-2.
Runyon an 0-5 record on the year with a 4.21 ERA here in his 43rd appearance of the season. 13 walks to 46 strikeouts.
Runyon has seen the ERA rise since his All-Star selection. At one point, he led all Atlantic League relievers with an 0.67 ERA. But you mentioned it's climbed a bit from there, sitting at the current 4.20 mark.
He has thrown against the Ducks a couple of times already on this season, including once in this series.
As he delivers a fastball here, that one's fouled back, and the count will hold.
He holds an 0-2 record against the Ducks with a 5.40 ERA.
See if Runyon can get back to vintage Runyon. The management hasn't given up faith in the right-hander. They keep sending him out there in high-leverage situations, and that's the only thing you can do with a reliever when he's struggling, as a single up the middle here from Effner will get things started here in the ninth. It's a loss-loss situation sometimes in situations like this, because as a manager, sometimes you want to give the guy, a fourth or fifth inning and say, hey, just go out there, try to figure it out. But you don't want to take away any confidence if you potentially put him in a situation that's meaningless and he gives up runs. So you keep putting him out there in the 6th or 7th and trying to let him figure it out there, or the 9th in this situation. We've got a pinch runner at first. I believe it is Daniel Fields that has come on to run. As squaring to bunt is Jordani Valdespin. The pitch misses up and away. So with a situation like this with Runyon, your best option is to keep putting him out there in high leverage situations, knowing that he got you through them early in the season and trusting that he'll get you through them again.
Oh, it's just like in basketball after this pitch.
As a breaking ball misses 2-0.
I'll give you the easiest trivia question of your life. It's just like in basketball. When a great three-point shooter is missing all of his shots, what do you tell him to do?
Keep shooting.
You keep shooting. That's what they're doing with Runyon. You know he's great. Let him keep throwing and get him back on track.
Runner goes here. The pitch a called strike. The throw down not in time as Fields has swiped second and moves into scoring position. A successful pinch run move there from the Ducks, as now coming out to the mound will be Maddox to go through the signals with Runyon. Andrew, you just so happen to be talking to one of the kids that was always told to just keep shooting. That was all I did when I ever played basketball, was go to the corner and shoot. And if I missed, I was always told just keep shooting. It'll go in, and most days it did. Some days you end up losing your team the game, though.
But that's the way it works. If you're that type of guy in any sport, you just got to keep going to get back on track.
Runyon comes set for the 2-1. A sacrifice bunt is laid down from Valdespin. Maddox picks up the tag at third, not in time. It'll be ruled a sacrifice fielder's choice. That puts Valdespin on first. And now runners on the corners and nobody out, as Maddox tried to get the lead runner but was unsuccessful.
An aggressive play by Maddox. The double play still in order. It'd be much more valuable if you could get an out in this situation. But if you're the Blue Crabs, that play hurts right there. And I almost, if you go back, you'd like Maddox to get the easy one and the for sure out at first.
Hindsight 2020, as no doubt if Maddox had it back, he'd throw to first. Now off for second is Valdespin. He's in easily. We'll see if that's ruled a stolen base or potentially a catcher's indifference, as he's now in scoring position, so the double play back out of order. Do you think about potentially walking Bonifacio here? But if you do that, you got a guy in Travis Snyder up who is bona fide power in the middle of the lineup. Valdespin is credited with a stolen base for those keeping track, as Runyon elects not to walk Bonifacio and goes inside and catches the corner with a fastball, 1-1.
That's the issue. Bonifacio is such a good hitter, but then the 3 through 6 in this lineup in 80 games have 44 combined home runs. So you got to question, do you go against average or against a strikeout home run guy?
Bonifacio, a big swing here, but fouls it back into the net, 1-2. Bonifacio is a guy that's a slap hitter more than a power hitter, so he's a guy that you can get a ground ball from with the infield in. They can come home with it more so than you'll see him send deep fly balls to spots of the field where you can't throw somebody out trying to tag up on sacrifice fly situations. So that is the good part here. And Runyon's a strikeout pitcher when he's got his best stuff, so he reaches back in a fastball here. It's fouled off, staying alive. But Runyon with 46 strikeouts in 40 and 2/3 innings, averaging over 1 an inning, can definitely get one when needed most days.
And we haven't really seen him break off one of those coveted curveballs in a couple of outings. See if he doesn't go with it here to try to fool Bonifacio.
You got to be very careful with that pitch. It's often tough to control that slurve that he has, and Maddox behind the plate can't afford one to get by him. Bonifacio sends a fly ball to center. Vaughn tracking it. That should be deep enough. Both runners are tagging. Vaughn's throw comes into third. The tag not in time, as Martinez laid a pretty good tag on Valdespin, who wasn't necessarily hustling, but he's ruled safe. So a successful sacrifice. SF8 is written down, and another run is added to the tally for Long Island. 6-4 the score.
That would have been absolutely monumental. What a strike off the arm of Corey Vaughn. He's really a guy that can do it all as the intentional walk is drawn. But he's a guy that can do it all. He's got the speed. He's got the power. He's got the fielding. He's got the arm. What a fun guy to watch.
Valdespin was not hustling at all. He was kind of jogging in there. I don't know if anybody told him that Vaughn was throwing to third to try to get him. And I thought he might have got him there. That might just be me saying that because I don't like when players don't hustle. But either way, you intentionally walk Travis Snyder, and now you set up the double play that could end the inning from Luke Ford. Runyon's first pitch to Ford, a fastball in the inside corner for a called strike. I saw it earlier in the game too, Andrew, something that frustrated me. There was a pop-up on the infield. I can't remember who hit it, but they didn't run down the line at all, and that was relatively frustrating as well, and that's kind of what I saw just now from Valdespin. That's not, what you're taught at a young age. No matter what talent level you're at, you're always told to hustle things out, and I guess somewhere along the line that gets lost on some guys.
Yeah, I had a coach back in the day who got a scholarship off into Creighton University. They were trying to pick between.
As a chopper through the left side here on a hit and run will get under the glove of Martinez. And that is an RBI single for Lou Ford, as the Ducks have added 2 more here in this inning. And manager James Frisbee will head out to the mound. He'll signal for Jason Creasy out of the pen, and that'll be the day for Sam Runyon. So we'll step aside here. You can finish your story on your coach for Creighton in a second, as Creasy will come on to try to get things out in the top of the 9th year. He'll inherit a pair of runners in a 7-4 game when we return to the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network. Jason Creasy takes over here in the top of the ninth. He's got one out on the board as Taylor Ard digs in and takes first pitch fastball outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Couple of runners on. They belong to Sam Runyon, who struggled once again on the day, but I know personally I haven't given up faith in Runyon. He's the type of guy who comes in with a smile on his face every day. I know he's not going to be happy with the outing today. He's not going to be happy with the month of July, but coming up shortly, it'll be a new month, and Runyon, frankly, through the first 3 months, was the best reliever I've ever seen in the Atlantic League. He struck out over a batter an inning. He didn't allow any runs on the entire time. He went 18 straight scoreless appearances from May to June, and there's no reason for me to believe that Runyon can't get back to that when the book turns to August.
I completely agree. He's the type of guy that you never sleep on. He's a very, very good pitcher. And Creasy, I think he can get out of this situation.
It's going to be a little bit tougher after a 4-pitch walk is issued to Ard. Creasy walks the bases loaded, so now David Washington digs in, but the good news is you're still just a double play away from getting out of the inning.
And that's a surprising walk from Creasy. In his time as a Blue Crab, a 2.46 ERA here in his 35th appearance. Only 3 walks through 29 and a third innings to 40 strikeouts. He was traded from the Ducks at the start of this season. He was the first transaction on the books for the Ducks of this season.
His first pitch to Washington misses, so that's 5 straight balls off the arm of Creasy since he's come out of the bullpen. Infield is shifted to the pull side of the powerful left-hander as he kicks and delivers. This is a strike, and the count goes to 1-1.
When Creasy was with the Ducks, he threw 3 innings, allowed 3 runs, all of them earned. And that was a little bit of a rough start with them. That was through 3 appearances.
As a called strike here, we'll go to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
But since, after allowing those 3 runs in just 3 appearances, he's only allowed a total of 5 runs since. Very impressive numbers.
The even better news is those 3 runs were against Southern Maryland. He actually gave up 5 runs in 3 appearances as a chopper towards first. 3, 2, 3, a double play, and that ends the inning. What I was going to say is he gave up 3 runs to Southern Maryland and 2 to Somerset before the trade, and then has been dominant since then for the Blue Crabs, and he gets out of a jam here as it's Long Island's turn to strand the bases loaded, but they do put up 2 more in the inning. That comes on 2 hits, no errors, and they leave 2 on base. We'll head to the bottom of the 9th, 3 to tie, and looks like K-Rod coming in. 3-4-5 due up for the Blue Crabs when we return to the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.
Fans, is your family or work holiday party looking for a venue this coming fall or winter? Look no further than the newly renovated Legends Club at Regency Furniture Stadium, brought to you by the Blue Crabs. Numerous food and drink options and great flexible features mean the Legends Club will make your event the hit of the season. Call a sales executive today at 301-638-9788 for more information or visit somdbluecrabs.com. TN Bose Heating and Air Conditioning is proud to present Fans for Our Fans at Regency Furniture Stadium once again this 2018 season. When the temperature at game time is expected to be a scorcher, TN Bose will do what they do best, keep you always the right temperature, by providing hand fans to the first 200 guests entering the stadium that day. Learn more about their technologically advanced AeroSeal duct sealing procedure online at tnbose.com. TN Bose for all your air conditioning and heating needs. Blue Crabs fans, your group of 20 or more can join us all season long with any of our several group hospitality areas at Regency Furniture Stadium. Our spacious and modern amenities can entertain your group starting at just $10 per person. The open-air picnic pavilion, upscale Legends Club, or luxury suites provide the backdrop for great nights at the ballpark. Call group sales at 301-638-9788 for more info or to book your group today.
Part of the order due up for the Blue Crabs here. 3, 4, 5 in the bottom of the ninth. They've got to get 3 to tie off of Francisco Rodriguez, the all-time leader for single season saves in the MLB. Broke that record with 62 in 2008. This season for Long Island, he's got 16, and he's got a strike on the outside corner to Devin Rodriguez, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch upcoming. Change up misses low. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Can't say enough about Francisco Rodriguez, 4th all-time in saves in the MLB. I mean, just a perennial name that you hear about every year. He's received Cy Young votes, MVP votes, which is very impressive as a pitcher.
The 1-1 is fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I said it the other day, and I'll say it again. Regardless of what happens, if Rodriguez never makes it back, if he finishes his career this year with the Ducks, regardless of what happens from here on out, he'll go down as one of the greatest relief pitchers that baseball's ever seen. As the 1-2 misses low and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's not to say he's the same pitcher he was in 2008 when he put up 62 saves and set the record for saves in a single season. His fastball back then was sitting 94 to 96. It's currently sitting 88 to 90, and it's a little more hittable now. So when you're talking about K-Rod, you're talking about the past. Right now we're facing Francisco Rodriguez chasing 3 runs, and it's doable. But he does pick up a strikeout here as he drops a changeup, and that one swung over on Rodriguez, and out number 1.
You look especially, you're right, back in that 2008 season when he set that record. That was the year that he finished 3rd in the Cy Young voting, obviously an all-star, but he also finished 6th in the MVP race. You talk about how hard it is for a starting pitcher to get the MVP. Clearly one of the only guys we've seen of recent, Justin Verlander, but for a reliever to be 6th, that's very impressive.
Very impressive, no doubt, but again, it's still doable here because that's 10 years ago now. That's crazy to think about because I remember watching it, but it's 10 years ago now, and K-Rod's 36 years old now. He's still got the strikeouts some days. He's got 22 and 24 innings, but it's not the 2 an inning that it was back then, as Griffin snaps his bat on a line drive, but right at the shortstop Bonifacio. 2 up, 2 down.
And if anybody can do it, I think it's this part of the Blue Crabs order. 2 are down, but Frank Martinez, never a guy to shy away from an opportunity. If he gets on, that could get some stuff going with Angelo Sacco and Corey Vaughn waiting on deck. That smells like runs between those 3.
And Martinez has to extend the game. The Blue Crabs are down to their final out here as the switch hitter digs in the left-handed batter's box. K-Rod comes set, kicks and delivers. Fastball on the inside corner for a called strike, 0-1.
Martinez has seen a couple of bats from the left side, a couple of bats from the right side, the switch hitter.
Change up, swung on and missed, and the count goes down to no balls and 2 strikes. Down to their final strike. Here are the Blue Crabs. We mentioned it already once today. The Dodgers were down to their final strike in what could have been a no-hitter for Sean Newcomb, and they got a hit. Let's see what Martinez can do. A changeup is swung on and missed. It's picked out of the dirt by Effner. He'll tag Martinez out at the plate, and that will retire the side. A pair of strikeouts for Rodriguez as he'll pick up the save, number 17 on the season, and the Ducks win the series 2-1, and this game, final score 7-4. The win will be credited to Dennis O'Grady. The starter, Hector Silvestre, unable to go the necessary 5 innings to qualify, so O'Grady gets credited with the win for his solid relief efforts. He goes to 4-2 on the season. The save will go to Rodriguez. That's number 17 for him on the year. The loss will be hit on Casey Delgado in his return. Delgado goes to 4-7. Final line score, 7 runs on 12 hits, 1 error for the Ducks. 4 runs on 13 hits, 1 error for the Blue Crabs. Andrew, a tough series loss for Southern Maryland, but some positives to go through. And definitely last night's game, you saw some power from Corey Vaughn. maybe he's getting back into the swing of things. There's plenty to look at, and it's nothing wrong with going down at the hands of a team that features multiple, 5 to 10 year MLB vets. But you felt like this was a winnable game that just kind of slipped through the fingers.
I agree. I think it was a winnable. I think that the Blue Crabs had a good shot to win all 3 games in the series. And looking at it from that perspective, when you're facing guys that have those type of resumes in a series that realistically you could have swept, had a couple of things gone your way in games 1 and 3, you got to feel good about that if you're the Blue Crabs. But at the same time, after tomorrow's off day, you got to come back right at it with the same approach. You add in a couple of clutch hits, and it's a completely different series for the Blue Crabs.
But 7-4 the final and 2-1 the series final as Long Island takes it. And the Blue Crabs with the off day tomorrow, that'll give their arms a chance to rest. They've had 14 straight days with scheduled games. A couple of them have gotten postponed. That freed up a couple of spot starts, but they've got a day off tomorrow. The bullpen will be able to reset after a long day today. Clear the minds. We got one more game in the month of July, and then the books will turn over to August. And the Blue Crabs still not too far out, honestly, in the second half of the season. There were 4.5 out entering play today. Sugarland doesn't play until tonight, so we'll see if it goes to 5.5 or stays at 4.5. Plenty of time to still catch up, and it starts on Tuesday as the Lancaster Barnstormers come back to town. 4 games in 3 days. We got a Tuesday 6:35, a Wednesday day game with a doubleheader starting at 11:05, and then back to the night shift on Thursday 6:35 there. We'll have them all for you right here. But for today, for my partner Andrew Banstra, I'm Brandon Belanda, and we'll see you back here on Tuesday against the Barnstormers on the Blue Crabs Broadcast Network.